don't got no friends. I don't got no friends. You know what I mean? I got supporters, people on my side and people on the other side.
Welcome to the shift where the whole room blows. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. Tissue flat, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm like, yo, shine just right. Respect your view even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. This that channel that be talking back, energy attack. Iron sharp as iron, watch the whole league react. Competition in the building, better tighten up your facts. We ain't clones, but we still mirror how you crack under impact. Every debater work hard, spot a weak, rap fast. You live wrong, paradigm shift, and break your stance. I'm the judge, the jury, the pen, the contrast. My bars hit always like a quadruple, buying title shift, where the whole room glow. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't all align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. We invite every mind, long as you stand on yours. Walking with respect, leave with open doors. Channel stay lit, views jumping off from boards. STL bounce, yeah, the spot from the source. Competitors, welcome, step up, don't fold. We don't fit pressure, we refine under low. Thoughts heavy, we press them till the truth gets told. Shift so clean, it feel platinum even when it's gold. Come through correct, bring your logic and your proof. Speak your truth, just don't run from the truth. We debate with grace, that's the paradigm groove. Flow so smooth, even turbulence move. Welcome to the shift where the whole room go. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Where the home glow. DMG vibes got the city on low. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' go. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love light. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Welcome to the shift. DMG vibes got the city on go. Welcome to the shift. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. Welcome to the shift. If you black, I'm with you, if you black, I'm with you. Welcome to the shift. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. Welcome to the shift. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Welcome to the shift. DMG vibe, got the city on low. With paradigm shift, keep it real for.
Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you black, I'm with you. And I hope that you with me.
Hey, welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother DMG the Poet, aka Brother Pianki, and we are back with another powerful show. I told y'all we was coming right back. Forgive me for my tardiness, but we got the legendary Mandinka Mali in the building, and he gonna be holding it down for a powerful interview. I hope my man Captain K is watching. I told you, bro, everybody coming for your head. Elder Yara, Khalil Shabazz, and now the mighty Mandinka Mali. That being said, family, y'all know before we get into our spiel, I got to do my spiel. So allow me to say God bless to all my Christian brothers and sisters. Hotep to all my Kemetic brothers and sisters. Shalom to all my Israelite brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum to all my brothers and sisters in the NOI. Islam to all my Moorish brothers and sisters. Peace To all my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth, them 5%ers. Let me say what's up to all my atheist brothers and sisters. Salute to all my Abo brothers and sisters. Big shout out to all my Rasta brothers and sisters. Last and certainly not least, I want to say Jumbo. To all the rest of my brothers and sisters all throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you're Black, I'm with you, and I hope you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can have unity without uniformity. And last and certainly not least, we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. With that being said, Mandinka Mali, it's on you.
Peace and blessings, man. Welcome to DMG TV, DMG Paradigm Shift 314. Welcome to everybody who's watching on JJ7K TV. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe. We got some powerful information for y'all today. You know, somebody in the audience talking about JJ chasing clout. Brother, I am the clout. You see how many wars I done been in, having to go on the road to whoop butt and take name? Brother, you better be taking notes and check out my resume. I done put debate leagues together. I got groups on Facebook bigger than your goddamn city. You want to sit here talking about JJ chasing clout because you believe in a chart that's already been debunked. So can you hear me loud and clear, family? Because it don't look like I can see you. If you can see me, let me know what's going on, man.
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I don't see it's on the stage. Yeah, man. Like I say, man, this what I'm attacking. The chart is a small thing to this whole paradigm of what's going on with this One West, these camps out here that's misleading our people. And today I got the camp. Two brothers as part of my team. Two brothers have been with me for years and years upon years. I'm talking about the camp killers. Art, J.R. and Malachi Baby Hebrew. These brothers was there from almost the beginning of this One West journey, and they've seen the light. They seen the light, and they stepped away from it. They was there before you, Tazariak, you, Captain 10K, and the rest of you newbies. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce JT Raw first, and then Baby Hebrew, you next. Go ahead, Aki. Introduce yourself a little bit, then we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes. Go.
Yeah, this is JT Raw, one of the original members of the ISUPK in Harlem, New York, 125th Street. I came into school in around between January 15th and January 22nd of 1992. Because I seen these men speaking on the streets on 42nd Street and about, I think, Broadway, one Sunday night around October or November of 1988. So I was enthused what I heard, you know, and especially they was getting on the number one enemy of Black people in America, the European white man, Caucasian. So that definitely intrigued me what I was hearing. But I checked it out. It took me a couple years before I even made my journey up into school because I wanted to check out what I was getting into because I already knew I was a Hebrew Israelite, grew up in it, grew up in the movement, knowing the movement, my family, father's family, you know, my father's brothers and sisters, they knew about this movement. My grandfather knew about this movement coming from the Iberian Peninsula, a Black man, very dark skinned. He most likely taught this information to my family, and that's why I grew up knowing I was a Hebrew Israelite, but we wasn't talking about the tribes like they were talking about. We was doing it from a religious stance. So I listened to these men for a couple years because I wanted to know what I was getting involved in if I was going to join up with these guys. So I joined up in the early 90s. And from the first day I got in there, it seemed like everything was kosher. But after a couple of years, I seen that these men was not on the righteous path that I thought they was, you know? I seen a lot of corruption come in the door, and I seen them, seeing them guys let a lot of things that was going on in the school that shouldn't have happened on the school, they let it go down. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are like, you got a lot of dudes like Tazariak will be telling us that we don't know nothing. Number one, we was in this school before it was just split. Do you understand what a split is? That means different men of that school that was in there went and started their own little sector, meaning their own franchise, their camps and all of that. We was in the place when there was just one school, different camps. Every camp leader had their own camp in the school, but we was all in the same building. You understand? So around 1995, 96, the split happened where a man named Marshall, who was the head of the school when I was in there, a certain amount of men went off with him. And one of the guys is on the panel here, Malachi. He went with that sector. I stayed with the sector that I was in. And then after that, there was other breakups and other camps came out of that, like GMS, like IUIC, and maybe some others. So we was there from the foundation of this One West movement. So ain't nobody could come on the panel and tell me a damn thing or Malachi a damn thing, because we was there. And I say this to, come on more, I'm get you in. And I say this to a lot of men that's in these camps.
Take your time, take your time, take your time.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And I'm gonna say this to a lot of the men in these camps today. You don't know not one of the original heads of these schools. Talking about the 7. The original 7. There's only 4 of them left. But none of you men that's in these camps like Tazariak and what's that other guy, that dude out of Philadelphia for GOCC, you never met none of the original men of these camps. I mean, the men who started the groundwork from these camps. You know what I'm saying? The pioneers of these camps. Y'all don't know not one of these men. I do. Malachi know him. I can get in touch with 2 of the original 7 if I wanted to right now, if I want to. I don't bug them that much, but I one of the original men of the school, like Elder Kazak, I talk with him all the time, damn near every day. I text him or I call him once in a blue. All right. Now he could feed you a lot more information about really what's going on if he wanted to come on, but I'm not gonna bug him on that. So if y'all want to come on here, if you think we telling a lie, bring yourself on the panel. Let's talk. Go ahead, Malachi, introduce yourself.
All right, thank you for the handoff.
Yep.
Thank you for the handoff. First, I want to thank, both DMG and you, CEO Mandinka Mali, for allowing us to come into the Paradigm Shift family to be able to give our story and everything else. And I want all you out there that are listening, who are practicing Israelites, do not take what we're saying as a catalyst to attack the faith as a whole. What we're going to be discussing and what we're going to be articulating is the darkness that came into this particular sector known originally as the Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge. I'm very dissatisfied with a lot of charlatans, kooks, and crazies that are out here sent by the FBI, CIA, and other clandestine, agencies that are hell-bent on destroying as a whole Black progression and Black unity, okay? When we come here tonight and have this discussion again, it's not to trash anyone, to trash the faith, but to challenge a lot of things that were taught within our sector that we have to be able to bravely face, talk about, considering the fact that we had certain leaders and so-called elders who sold out this faith, disarrayed and blasphemed on a high level. So when we come here tonight, We coming with facts, we're coming with figures, and we're not coming here, like I said, to be disrespectful to anyone, but for all who are listening, whether you came out of the UPK sector or whatever you may believe, be a believer in. J. Edgar Hoover's long dead, but the COINTELPRO counterintelligence program operation still moves, shakes, and discombobulates all progressive movements out. And with that, I'll land my plane. And again, I thank you for allowing us to come into your home and trusting us to articulate to you information based on the Bible, Isaiah the 41st chapter, 21st verse, to produce your cause and bring forth your strong evidence.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got one more person from my team that want to speak, and then we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes. Go ahead, Indigenous.
Peace and love, baby Hebrew. Peace and love, JD. Peace and love to everybody in the chat. What we're dealing with is, 12 tribes, right? So let's ask ourselves, and these are questions that I want y'all to remember. Ask yourself, and this is what I told Apostle and them. I said that you should be thankful that you were chose by God, because y'all are some crazy characters. Let's start with the 12 tribes. At first they started off selling their brother into slavery. The kind of part that he was, and allowing them to come into Egypt with him in Goshen, they might not have made it in that drought that they were having in Israel. So let me ask you a question. What's so great about these 12 guys at the beginning? And just like I said, the only reason why they was blessed by God made the promise to these guys, just like he made the promise to David, who did his thing with, whoremongering. Solomon, to, Noah, all of these people, they should just be, say, starting off selling their brother into slavery. Does God, did he reward that? You see what I'm saying? And then not only that, but all of this is genetics, family. This is science falsely so-called. This is trying to make a religion a race, just like they're doing in Israel right now. All of this started off as a religion. Now it's a race. So now we're going into genetics. Which what JJ, tell them what changed from what changed his name into genetics because it was politically incorrect. Remember the presentation?
Yeah. I kind of,
Eugenics.
Yeah, eugenics.
Eugenics changed his name to genetics.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the offering of the poor, the unfit, the ones that they deemed unfit, the ones that science deemed unfit. This is a scientific experiment now. When we're talking about genealogy and lineage and all that. Okay? When this is all supposed to be a religion. So we're going to get into all that too, y'all. All right?
Yeah.
All right? And we're going to beat up some of the lies. And we even want to talk a little bit about Africa because they down Africa. But Joseph was there, just like I just said. Mm-hmm. And he brought the 12 tribes members in to live with him in Gihon, in the best land in Africa, because they was having a drought in Israel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
According to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Israel and Jesus, that his first couple years, Herod ran him as a baby, ran him into Egypt. And there's many other stories. And we're going to get into all that. So I just wanted to say that, and I thank you and appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah.
And
stay on the phone.
Let's get into it, fam.
Let's get into it. Hey, DMG, can you share my screen? Is DMG still there? If not, I can just read it from here. But if you can share my screen, let me know my screen. I want to get my opening going. We're going to get in the meeting. I'm going to give my opening, then I'm going to turn it back over to the Camp Killers. So I want them to get their experiences out, and then I'm gonna go into the sources, the references, and the scholarship. And anybody that want to come up here and challenge me, the floor will be yours. But guess what? It might turn into a death. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Peace and blessings. Like I say, shout out to my queen Jenny Hayes. I love you. Shout out to the Lions Den, Sister Kareem, and the rest of the team. Neil Love. Y'all know how we do. See, these guys, and when you challenge them, they want you to come challenge them on an unneutral platform where they control the bells and whistles and the buttons and put you in the back and mute you and ask you 5 questions as soon as they ask one. No, we're not doing that today. This is a fair arena right here today. You see what I'm saying? We're going to give you the opportunity to challenge any information that we bring out. We're going to give you the ample time to refute a JT Raw, to refute baby Malachi Hebrew. And I guarantee you, none of them step to the plate. Tazariak, Makakaba, any of you guys, Captain 10K, Gabal. And as a matter of fact, he running around here lying, knowing that I already beat you over here 10-0. I'm still waiting for my certificate from DMG. That was a couple of years ago. He want to lie to me. You beat me on this topic. You don't even have the intelligence to even know when a real source hit you. So is DMG there? So is my screen showing? Is my screen showing?
Your screen is showing.
All right. Like I say, it was good morning, but this is a good afternoon. We are here today to address the question that touches on identity, history, and faith. Who are the true descendants of the ancient tribe of Israel? For centuries, there's been a topic of scholarly debate, but recently a number of theories have gained popularity, claiming that various groups in the Western Hemisphere, specifically Native Americans and Haitians, are the true descendants of the so-called lost tribe, such as Gad and Levi. Today, I am here to state clearly and unequivocally, these theories are not supported by any evidence, Captain 10K. Yeah, I know you better hide in the bushes, you and your little troopers. I already beat Tazariak 3 times. Katazar ran from the debate after he signed up on sign of the TV because I mispronounced his name. Now we're going to get it. We're going to examine some of your false teachings, some of the scriptures that you use in your PowerPoint to prove that Gad was a part of your tribe, your Native Americans. So in fact, they are directly contradicted to the 3 pillars of modern knowledge and genetics, documented history, and archaeology. My goal for the next 5 minutes to lay a clear evidence-based framework that dismantles these claims and reaffirms what scientific and historical record actually tells us. See, the unrefutable story of genetics is what's going to kill you. First and most importantly, let's follow the science. Genetics is the final word of ancestry and tells a completely ambiguous story. Right? Let's keep going. All right. The genetic profile. Look at this, y'all. The genetic profile of all indigenous Native American populations from Alaska to Chile traces back to where? A single founding group of Northeast Asia. Let's stop right there and evaluate that. Let's stop right there. I got it highlighted for you because this is what I'm going to be bringing. I'm not just bringing what my elder taught me and his elder taught him. No, that ain't how it goes. Because if I was ever in your class, I'm going to challenge everything that you say. I'm not just going to be a yes man. That's right. No, that's not us over here. That's why these 2 brothers left, because they had questions and it was getting shut down. They had people getting in front of them half their age trying to tell another grown man what to do. Enough is enough, right? So the genetic profile of all indigenous Native American populations from Alaska to Chile traces back to a single founding group in Northeast Asia. How do you get around that? Oh, we don't believe in DNA. Well, that's your fault. That's your fault for being left behind. See, their DNA is defined specific haplogroups like Q and C, which are markers. You see that? Are markers of their migration across the Bering Land Bridge thousands of years ago. But let Katazai tell it, the Bering Land Bridge is a joke. It was debunked, according to him. That's to push their lie. But you got to come up with the information to show that it was debunked, and you can't. Let's keep going. All right. The genetic profile. Then okay. Now, whatever. You know what else kills me, y'all? They hate Africa so much, but then you have the Haitians as your Levites. Let's look at the genetic makeup of the Haitians, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to take you right back to Africa. I'm playing with y'all today, man. The genetic profile of the Haitian. Let me highlight it so y'all keep up with it. Hold up, man. Let me see. Yeah, man. All right, there you go. Let me get about a whole paragraph. Now, make it a little bigger. for y'all. Touchscreen. Shout out to my baby for getting this from me, Kenny Hayes. Now, the genetic profile of the Haitian people is equally clear. Over 95% of their ancestry traced directly back to West and Central Africa. Uh-oh. Houston, we got a problem. You know why we got a problem? Because your 12 tribe chart got Judah as African Americans, Benjamin as West Indian Black, Levi. Uh-oh, here we go right here, y'all. What we're talking about right here. Levi is the Haitians, Ephraim, the Taino Indians, the Puerto Rican, which I'm going to show their history and everything. Simeon as Dominicans. Zebulon as Guatemalans and Panamanians. Gad as, they got all Gad as the Native American. All the Native, but the 537 tribes, I guess this Gad, his crew, created all these different goddamn Indian nations, right? And then not on top of that, where is it in the book that says that Gad would have Judah in slavery? Because guess what? Over here, the Native Americans had us in slavery. Should I know that? Huh? Buffalo Soldiers had to go in and bust it up. Y'all remember that movie with Mel? Was it not Mel? Dude to play with Mel Gibson. Forget his name. But anyway, so you have Reuben as your Seminole Indians, Astor, Colombians, and Uruguay, Issachar as Mexicans. That's the Mexicans and Aztecs. They got their own culture, history, guys, and everything. We're gonna be showing all of that. How your chart is a fraud. This is why you won't get up here and see us. You know better. You have to have the whistles and bells, but guess what? We're gonna let you come up here. So I hope DMG call them. All right, so, we got Nathalie as Argentina and Chile. None of this align with mainstream biblical or historical interpretations. Let's keep going. Now, compare that to the genetics of known Jewish populations, the documented descendants of ancient Israel. Their ancestry is rooted in where? The Middle East, defined by haplogroup like J and E. There is no overlap. No ancient Israel DNA in pre-Columbian Native Americans. Oh, you in some trouble. No Levite DNA in Haitian population. To claim otherwise is to ignore fundamental established science and human ancestry. Let's keep going. This is my little opening, and we're going to get back to the camp killers and indigenous. We're going to get back to them. The camp killers are telling their experiences and all the foul things that's been going on, and then I'm going to beat up the chart like I always do. I have primary sources right here with two people that was there in the beginning. These are primaries. You guys wasn't there from the beginning. You came in, like you say, it used to be called the Israeli, Israeli, what do you call it? The Israeli Church of Practical Knowledge, whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and keep going, man, because I want to get past this so my camp killers can really come on and bust your head. All right? You thought we was going to play with you today and just talk about your chart? No, we got everything for you today, sir. Now, the unbroken chain of documented history, right? Second, we must look at the written record. This includes the Bible itself, which these theories claim to uphold. Let's keep going. All right. So it says the Bible is explicit about where these tribes were located. It doesn't describe a migration to an unknown continent. Now look at this, y'all. See, this is where they're having a problem. It places the tribe of Gad in the eastern frontier of Israel. That's in Gilad, modern day Jordan. Fighting off desert raiders. It placed the tribe of Levi not in a single territory, but scattered in priestly cities within the land of Israel. Their history is in the Middle East. And I'm telling you, man, y'all gonna have a problem with us. This is why these guys are gonna show up. I'm telling you, we welcoming you with open arms, Captain 10K. I already beat you over here 10-0. I'm still waiting for my dang on flyer from DMG when they get back up here. I'm gonna ask them about it. It just actually happened. Meanwhile, he want to try to erase history. No, this actually happened. You got 10-0 over here. You got he put out a poll for people to vote. Only 10 people vote. That's not my fault. You got beat 10-0. Now, meanwhile, the history of the Haitian people is not a mystery of a lost tribe. This is well documented modern history of the French colony Saint-Domingue. It is the story of nearly 1 million people kidnapped from the kingdom of Dahomey, Congo, Oyo, which then heretically forced their own freedom in the Haitian Revolution. To replace this powerful real history with fictional Israelite one is an injustice to their ancestors. You see what I'm saying, man? You in some goddamn trouble, man. I don't know why you come over and fooling with the good people in the Lions Den. I don't know why you did that. You know how we get down. The same is true for the Native Americans. This is called cultural appropriation. That means you're taking somebody else's culture and history and trying to appropriate it to something that you got to fit your agenda. I told you, I'm that one. That's why they always want to throw me off and mute me and put me in the back, because they know they can't deal with me one-on-one, because the clock is in their enemy. And if anybody in that audience, Omar Muhammad, you want to get up here and get beat up because you've been trolling for a long time, you can get it too. Now, the same is true for Native Americans who have their own rich history is erased by these claims. The fate of physical evidence. That's my next point right here. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. It's almost over, and then we're going to get the guys back up here. You're going to really be in some trouble. Finally, let's address the so-called proof that, hold up, y'all. No, I want y'all to stick with me. Let's address the so-called proof that's often presented in artifacts. They want to talk about the Back Creek Stone and the Back Creek Stone. All of that is fake. Every single major artifact used to support ancient Israelite presence in America has been thoroughly, decisively debunked by experts. I seen your little presentation. I'm gonna put it back up here a little bit once I get to really get into my meat and potatoes. It's just a little appetizer right here. What to expect. So you better go scramble and scrape and figure out what kind of lie you can come up with to debunk this. And you ain't gonna be able to do it. Anybody else out there that's running a pork chop eating lip, we dare you to come up here. We dare you. We gonna give you the time to speak so you can put your foot in your mouth. Look at this, y'all. They want to talk about the Back Creek Stone. This is proof that we was over here. Then, well, guess what? A 19th century forgery copy from a Masonic book, the Lost Lunas Decollage Stone, a modern carving with amateur's errors, lacking the geological patina of an ancient inscription. How about this? The new work Holy Stone. All this stuff that you're trying to use will not help you because it's been debunked. Another 19th century fake written in modern Hebrew script that didn't exist 2,000 years ago. They try to trick you with the modern Hebrew. That's what they're messing up. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm gonna stick to the top. This is not a debate among scholars of 10K. It's a settled issue. These objects are not evidence. They are hoaxes created long before they were discovered. Let's keep going. Now, here go my conclusion, y'all. Yeah, we got a lot more to deal with. So what's left? On one side, we have a theory built on debunked artifacts as a misreading of scripture and a complete denial of genetic science. On the other side, we have a converging independent evidence of DNA, archaeology, and the documented historical record, all telling the same consistent story. The history of the Jewish diaspora is real. The history of the first people in America is real. And the history of the Haitian people, African origins. You have the Haitians as Levites. And you hate Africa and don't even know that you got them on your chart. I mean, where they do that at? Did you not know? The Costas, I didn't teach you that? Because that's your main leader. That's your ghostwriter right now, tricking you Negroes. You got a Harry Rosenberg looking like up here, probably his cousin, has infiltrated the camp to fit themselves in the story. You see? So the history of the Jewish diaspora is real. The history of the first people in America is real. And the history of the Haitian people of African origins and revolutionary triumph is real. These are distinct, powerful histories that deserve to be told accurately. This should not be erased and replaced by a narrative that has no foundation in fact. All right, let's get into it, man. My brothers that's out here, man. So what I like to ask the brother JT and Malachi, what did you see in these camps that really made you want to just step aside and go on your own journey? Either one of y'all can go first.
JT, you want to go first or no? Well, I'll tell you what, I'll come in. Here's what I'm going to say, brother. What made me step away, leave overall is this here. And up from almost 30 years, up from that experience, man, I've had to do some serious reassessing. But when you see the very leaders, the very people who taught the chart and other aspects of the faith, okay, if you want to call it that, all right, betray everything they ever taught. We're talking about men that were born into this, going back to the 1940s on up. Okay, I wasn't even a thought. But for you to be in this 35, 40, 50 years, okay, as long as I've been breathing, and then you betray everything you're taught. then that is a catalyst for me or anybody who's not fanatical and has good sense to understand, as 2 Timothy 2:15 says, you must study to show yourself approved and be able to rightly divide the word. That's why I stepped away. Because see, once it became an organization wherein you can't ask any questions now. You can't question. Now that means we're dealing with a cult. Okay? And then here it is, not only the teachings, then we talk about the criminal and immoral elements that came in. Now, the Bible tells you that wolves will come in unawares, but I also look at the writings of Huey P. Newton and Malcolm X, and both of them said something that was key. When you see an organization that prided itself on moral and spiritual reformation, if you see virtually overnight a criminal and immoral element into the zone, then you are now compromised. Now, when it came to the 12 tribe chart, I have to say this here. The men who taught it, they brought forth historical, archaeological, anthropological proofs and evidence. But again, my biggest hang up to this day, and there are people out here who feel some kind of way when they hear myself and JT give our testimony, when we say that we've had to toss away, even in my debate with you, CEO, I had to do a revamp and a reconsideration. There's some who get mad, but see, we're not fanatics in this, all right? And what we're not going to do is sit up here and act like these things are kosher when they aren't. If indeed from Arya or whoever else was teaching this thing, there's been an oversight, then it's our responsibility to be able to say that we were wrong, do a reevaluation, and then at the same time be able to teach the people right. Because again, the 12 tribe chart has proven now to be problematic, because when we talk about, on one hand, we base it upon so-called Negro or Indian descent, okay, the bywords that we are called by. But yet I'm seeing Filipinos, I'm seeing brothers talking about the Eskimos. You want to incorporate people that have nothing to do with the prescribed chart that they're going by. That is a problem, a serious problem. So that's why I stepped away, and then to have all these heretical teachings that Arya, I'm going to name the ones who were guilty of this. I'm going to give the Hebrew name, Arya, Shar, to have Yeshaya, Lahab, okay, who were a part of the seven, then their underlings, Yohana, okay, and others out there. Allow these heretical teachings to come in. So much so that here you got men out here with this megalomaniacal ideology that if you're not following them, you're not in the truth. That what made me step away, CEO. That what made me walk away. And especially when men made open deals with the Rosicrucian order. We're talking about Arya allowing a $50 million buyout. And this whole comforter, among other things he was teaching that shouldn't have been taught, all right? He was up here reading the Kabbalah and all these other reading books that had nothing to do with the biblical teachings, man. So that is why, speaking for myself, that's why I stepped away. That's why I have been doing a serious reevaluation. Because I'm not going to be in a cult-like mentality. And if I'm wrong on an issue, I don't, as JT always says so strong, I don't want my soul to be condemned if I'm out here teaching disinformation, misinformation, ignorantly or willfully. I'm not going to be guilty of that. So that's why I stepped away, to see the thievery, the adultery that was allowed, okay, pimping. Man, look, that is why I stepped away. And this is not only confined to the Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge in its original name. This is also there are other Israelite communities that are deviant, that are out of line, but specifically talking about ISUPK in its original form. See, for me, the militancy is what caught my eye. The structure caught my eye. All right, the military dragnet of teaching and learning about time management, responsibility, going out here, studying, uncovering evidence. They pushed all these things at one time. But just like in the ancient days, even now, we've always had contingencies of Israelites who have proven to be problematic, and that's why I stepped away. And with that being said, I'm going to lob it off to Yashar Don. He'll give you his reasons why.
All right, go ahead, Yashar Don. I see Elder Kunai in the building. If you want to jump on, man, we love to have you. Come over to Paradigm Shift. Go ahead, JT Raw.
One of my main reasons why I left is because it was too much man worshiping, honoring a man, and trusting man. That's one of the main ones. Giving more glory to men than the God that you willing to bring forth.
You
understand what I'm saying? And another reason why I left the school, because I don't play. I got that I don't play spirit. If you don't treat me with respect, I'm gonna come back at you hard. You know what I mean? And I knew the way my character was designed, that if I didn't leave that place, I was gonna put a nigga in the graveyard. You know what I'm saying? And I'm being honest, bro. Because the madness that you see now was just beginning of what it was back then. It was just the beginning. See, it was too much men on that man worship, honoring, I'm a general, I'm a captain, this, and these niggas ain't got no power to do a damn thing in this kingdom. You ain't got no power to do nothing. But it was the disrespect. Ariel never taught these men how to respect brothers. I didn't see it. I don't know if Malachi didn't see it, but I know I didn't see it. And plus, another thing Malachi didn't point out, I'm going to point out. Millions of dollars came through them doors. I want y'all to understand what I'm saying. Money came through them doors. And I'm not going to name the men that, brung the money in, but it was two prominent brothers that was in the sports arena, sports world. They wrote a check for $2.5 million a piece, plus other ventures in the school. We had generated about $10 million, give or take. And these men did not put none of that money. They didn't invest not one dime of that money in the school to build up the school. They put that money in their pocket. And I'm gonna say this too. Anybody that's in the chat, anybody that's in the chat that's rolling with one of them camps, you can't say I'm saying a lie because you wasn't there. You understand me? Y'all was not there. Some of y'all might have not even been born yet. You understand me? So you can't say nothing. See, you following a liar. You following a man that's going to get your ass hurt or killed. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you don't come back to the Most High and follow his rules and regulations, these men you following, you're going to be excommunicado when they ass get the judgment. You're going to get it alongside them. Y'all understand? See, I'm not here to play no games with none of these cats, man. See, that's why they ain't gonna come on the panel, because they know we got the arsenal to run their ass out the building. They know it. You understand what I'm saying? Who the hell is Tazari Whack to come on here and tell me, somebody that know Ariel personally, you don't know a damn thing about the man, is what that fat gorilla told you. You understand what I'm saying? You only know what he told you, but have you ever been in the presence of this man? You understand? Have you been in the presence of Ariel? No, you ain't been in his presence. I have, and Malachi has. And we telling you he went off. We saw how he went off. So how you gonna come up in here and tell us we lying? Between me and Malachi, we got about, let's see, he got 38 years, I got 34 years. So you do the math. That's about 72 years between the both of us coming out of this one West thing. You understand me? So you can't tell me nothing. Number one, you don't even know the original 7. You never was even in the presence of the original 7 heads of the school. You don't know nothing. I know all of them when they were alive. The ones that passed away. It's 4 of them left. But I'm saying when they all was alive, I was in the presence of all of them. Masha, Yaiquab, Ariyah, Lahab, Lashaya, Shaw, Kazak. We was in the presence of these men. These were our teachers. They taught us this truth. You understand me? They taught us this truth. And all you men know is what your camp leader taught you. And your camp leader got all their information from those men. You understand me? And see, there ain't no unity amongst the camps anyway. All of you telling your camp members, your members of your camp, don't listen to ISUPK, them brothers is lying. Don't listen to that kid. All of you lying personally, all of you telling the lies, man. You understand me? Because because anytime the Most High gonna do the saving, it's not what camp you with. It's the commandments that you keep gonna get you out of here, bro. You understand me? That's what gonna get you out of here if you keeping these commandments to the best of your ability. Even myself, you understand? Man don't got no say over nothing in this walk, and that's what a lot of you better learn quick. You understand me? What you seeing going on in the Middle East is just a prelude about what's really gonna go down. You understand me? And see, I'm gonna say another one, and I'm gonna let Malachi take the floor. Our people that went over there in Israel in Dimona back in the 1960s, they just got hit by Iran with some missiles. Y'all understand that? I'm saying it this way. Yeah, we are the people. And I'm not going to discredit that we are, because we fit the biblical prophecy of what the Israelites would go through in the last days. And these people that's claiming to be these people are not going through no biblical nothing biblically.
So let me ask you this, JT, real quick.
Yeah.
So, real quick, so you mean to tell me Gad, the Native Americans, the Colombians and the Mexicans and the Argentinians and Chiles and Puerto Ricans and so-called Taino Indians, they're not part of the 12 tribes?
Let me explain myself. In all those areas, okay, in all those areas like Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and etc., you got 3 classes of people there. You understand me? You got the so-called Negroids like us on this panel, and you got the mixed people. You got the mestizos on the island. You understand me? And then you got the El Cracaquitos. You understand me? So out of those which one of those 3 fit the prophecy of the Israelites? The Negroid. You understand me? See, to me, speaking from my personal opinion, when you had Ephraim listed on there, Ariyah did as Puerto Ricans, you're not telling me what Puerto Rican you're talking about. You're just saying Puerto Rican. So you got people believing that all the Puerto Ricans that come from Puerto Rico is the Ephraimites. That's what you got us believing. No, if it would have said Afro-Puerto Rican, then I say, oh, bet I know who you're talking about. You understand? Or Afro-Dominican, Afro-Cuban. I know who you're talking about. You understand me? See, that's the problem. See, no, my personal feeling on this is I'm only the very few men that can prove his lineage, because I got actual lineage of our people coming out of the Iberian Peninsula, which is España and Portugal. Literally. Y'all understand that? My grandfather is as black as the night. You understand? As dark as the night, the real dark night. You know where he came from to come to this country called America? He came from over there. He was over there in Spain and Portugal, bro. So my family got the records that we are Israelites and basically know what tribe we come from. No disrespect to nobody else. Anybody that's using the chart and claiming the tribe, you making an educated guess. You know what I'm saying? Because you really don't have no proof that you that tribe. I believe that you are one of those tribes, but as the tribes he got listed and where they got them listed at and coming from, I don't know if that's correct at all.
Right.
You understand me? Go ahead.
And I'm going to come in and answer your question, Mandinka. I am forced now to say, I honestly don't know. All right. Again, because the very teachers, some of them, not all, but because the selling out. See, my thing is, when you teach a thing for practically all of your adult life, and then you put behind it the faith, the commandments of the Lord in Christ, the biblical power of honor, justice, righteousness, and then you sell it out at the drop of a dime or a dollar or $50 million in this particular case. I, who was a student, all right, and one time adherent, you're now forcing me to have to really backtrack and reevaluate, okay, everything that was taught. Because again, the teachers sold out. The men who taught, they sold out. And you can't get past that. And at the same time, it didn't help. And this is not to knock anyone, but there were some men who came through those doors who weren't exactly scholarly. They lacked in scholarship. And many of them came in with their own agenda, looking for power, looking for lusting in power and wanting to, have this, control, like we see with certain splinter groups that came up out of the ISUP, the original ISUPK cell. Okay? And so this is why when you ask that question, I'm hit to the core now, Mandinka. I have to say I honestly don't know. All right? All I can say is that the main thing that rooted me in considering it is because I'm going to end it.
Take your time.
It's only because when you look at it from the Americas and outside of the Americas, everyone named on that 12 ensign, 12 tribe sign, whatever you choose as a verb to describe it. I mean, adjective to describe it. I'm going to say they are all grouped together, even when we try to be separate. That's the only glue that held my attention. But again, for me, and I'm going to keep on hammering it, I've now really had to go back to the drawing board over these last 31 or more years because of the betrayal. And again, looking at all the misrepresentation that I'm seeing in splinter groups that came up out of that particular cell of the Israelite community. And I'll land my plane.
All right, let me get a little bit of this. DMG, you can share my screen, please. All right, let me get a little bit of this. Hold up. And I also had a question before I really started reading. Oh, it fell off. Hold up. So I'm hold up, DMG. I had a question. And then you know what? I'm gonna do my thing at the end. I had a question. Now I was told. Shout out to Water Blues. Shout out to the people who's watching the Lions Den. Shout out to everybody watching on DMG Paradigm Shift 314. Like I said, we ain't here to play no game. We're here to, let's go through the information. Forget all the ad homs and calling people this and calling people that. We ain't doing that. Who cares who JJ's with? Yeah, I mean, these guys are too much worried about my personal life instead of trying to teach And you know, if you have information, I'm got questions, then you should be able to be, as a teacher, Captain 10K, to be like, okay, well, look, let's read this scripture about Gad and how the Taino Indians is Ephraim. You know what I'm saying? How the Simeons, the Seminole Indians, the Dominicans, which don't make no sense to me because the Indians, you said it all are Gad. I mean, all the Native Americans Gad. It don't make sense. But what I want to ask you guys about the prophecy that the world was ending. Tell us a little bit about that and how that went wrong. And if a person teaches a bad prophecy, should he still be in leadership? Go on. What's up, Hercules? I see you. Haru Conscious.
Okay,
go
JT, you go first, brother. Go first.
Listen, my personal opinion is in the 90s, when the information these men was putting out there, especially that 2000 prophecy, where you had men like Tahar saying in 1998 that America has only 628 days left. I think you out of pocket because we 26 years in since the year 2000.
Yeah.
That's a couple of thousand days, you know, in the thousands, and we still here. I gotta reevaluate that these men ain't telling the truth. You know what I mean? Because Ariel had men solely believing that this kingdom was going to end on January 1st. Hear me clearly. January 1st, 2000, which was on a Sabbath, a Saturday at that, at 12 o'clock noon. I was already gone from the school. I left the school around, completely left and said, I'm never going back. September 18th, 1999, which was actually my birthday, so-called birthday, on that Sabbath. I said, that's it for me, man. I had enough of they bullshit, BS. So I said, I'm out. I ain't coming back. So in the year 2000, January 1st, I waited. I think I was in my, living in with somebody, and I waited to see what was going to happen at 12 o'clock noon, right? So I was counting it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, blah, blah, blah. And at 12 o'clock noon, the sky didn't open up. He didn't appear on a horse with a sword, double-edged sword. I said, these niggas are liars, and I ain't going back. I'm done. That's it. And that's me. Okay. And that's when you seen all these different groups started to appear after that. After the year 2000, Tahar was in House of David. He got whatever happened up in there. I don't know because I wasn't there. I can't say. He left the school and started GMS. Then Nate left the school and started IUIC. And whoever else was in there that left that a camp today, like Lions of Israel, Daniel Allah, he left the school and started his own camp. They could not even stay together. You understand me? They could not even stay together. The glue was no more. There was nothing holding it together. You understand? So you have to reevaluate that these men were pushing the doctrine of the year 2000, and it didn't come to pass. And another thing I'm gonna say to people, all of you new cats that's in this knowledge that heard the story about what the 2000, none of you know where even Ariel got that information from. But I do. You know where he got it from? He got it from the Book of Mormon. Do y'all understand me? He got that from the Book of Mormon. Do you understand me? That's where he got it from.
Okay. Let me come in. Let me just say this here. To your question, Mandinka. See, unfortunately, again, like I said, in the process of time, whoever or whatever forces got their hands and tentacles around Ariel and others in the zone, like I said, caused monumental damage to this day. See, I happened to have at one point gained Ariel's confidence and ear. So I would be behind the scenes, one of many saying, Ariel, why are you teaching that this world gonna end before the year 2000 when at one time you were teaching that no man knew at the time. See, I was there in the 80s. Okay, I came in, like I said, 88. But before that, I was listening to them as a child. Okay? But I remember that this man would be teaching that no man knew at the time. No man knew the time. He taught that. But then all of a sudden, like I said, Mandinka, when the FBI, CIA finally found an opening, and whatever these men were doing that they had no business doing, all of a sudden, Arya, among others, but Arya being, since he was one of our principal teachers, he started going off more and more and more. But here I was saying to him, brother, why are you teaching that? Because see, if 2,000 come and go, that's going to look real bad on your end. And again, when you've been teaching that, no man knew at the time, what are you doing? See, unfortunately though, Arya had a weakness. We all have our weaknesses, right? And when you look at it, for all my biblical believers, there are three primary weapons that Satan has used. Now, when you use them on the Lord's side, they're not demonic and they're not bad. But when you go demonic, it becomes a problem. And the three primary weapons that Satan has used throughout the years. Now we have women and children listening, so I won't use the actual word to describe. I'll say beauty. Satan uses beauty, power, and money. Okay?
And back, you can say the backside.
No, okay, but no, we want to keep it kosher and the house rules that DMG ask us to. So we'll come up with kosher descriptors. My point is though, all right, every man has their weaknesses. Even to this day, I still battle my weaknesses. But the bottom line is, when Arya started allowing a lot of criminal elements and all kinds of heresies to come in, because he was now, how you say, snatched up and yanked up. Satan found an opening in him, okay? And that's why, Mandinka, he started teaching all these other heresies, reading books, as Yeshua just pointed out, the Book of Mormon. What that got to do with the Bible? What does the Kabbalah have to do with the scriptures? It's other books and everything he was delving into. All right, you had witches coming in there.
The witchcraft books.
Witches that were coming in there, warlocks coming in there, and this man, he waxed worse and worse and worse. See, at one time we had a solid, almost infallible structure going on. And what really put us on the map?
Lahab taking milk baths.
Hold on. There are three things that put us on the map that made us magnificent at one point. When we went and took out an entire neighborhood of drug dealers, we won the affections of the people. All right? When you had, thank you. When you had one of our brothers named Ariala and a sister named Awara go on Montel Williams and tore it up. Okay, thank you. Shia Allah. Not Allah and Awara, they tore it up. The young people came in droves, okay? All right? We had it going on. But then when men get full of themselves, the arrogancy, and they forget the Most High as the key figure, with Christ being our Savior, that's what happened, Mandinka. Arya opened himself up right along with Lahab, Yeshua. I'm not going to spare nobody here. Okay? And others, like Johanna and others, and the next thing you know, the arrogancy, the thievery, the skullduggery, and all kinds of other evils came into play, Mandinka. That's why. And like I said, I was on his case about it. But when a man gets full of himself and think he's the movement, this is what happened. Some of these men started thinking they were the movement, Mandinka, and forgot that, hold on, we're all one of many, okay? As the good Lord said, one man plant, the other water, but he's the one who gives the increase. If you believe the biblical biblical writings, all right? But that's what happened. That's why it came into play. Not to mention the sexual misconduct that Ariel committed. Oh yeah, see, if we're gonna talk, we're gonna talk. I was out here, y'all know my track record where I went off, but I don't hide it. But one thing about this thing is here. There's not a man, woman, or child on this side of the fence that can say I did them wrong. But see, Mandinka, once you go off and the FBI and CIA, they get you. Once you shake the devil's hand and you become his pawn, then he got you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that's why, Arya and others became demonic and have led this particular chapter and segment of the Israelite community into utter darkness. Utter darkness.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, Johanna
sexual misconduct. You can't just blow by that, man. What do you mean by sexual misconduct? Can you kind of get a little bit into that?
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. It's easy to say. It's easy to get into. Okay, the man got caught up with a woman who was another brother's wife. That man is now dead and gone. Okay, but brother, we had Lahab who was going around giving other men's wives as gift to the next man. See, hold on. See, we cannot be afraid. We're not afraid to let it be known. See, as I said earlier on, J. Edgar Hoover's long dead, but the counterintelligence program. Okay? See, these men got caught up, whatever they were doing, and they had no business doing. Drug dealing, drug dealing, and all kinds of other criminal activities. They were up here ripping men off on the oil tables and all kinds of, like I said, once you get caught with your pants down, the Most High told us all that when you come in this, you walk straight or not at all. There's no in between. And this is what these men did, man. They got caught up, and then they allowed the United States government to bend them over and rape them, Ak. That's what happened. Straight up. And I'll land my plane.
Oh, man, this right here, man. This is groundbreaking information, ladies and gentlemen. I've heard these stories before, man, but I had to take the act on the road to a different audience. And we're going to go, I got like 5 or 6 different platforms lined up for the camp killers in JJ 7000, Captain 10K, Katazar, Tazariak, Maharakar, whatever your name is, blah, blah, blah. This ain't even real. Hey, this ain't even real, goddamn it. Hebrew, you guys. Yahweh. Had me over there for 11 years. Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shabbat like a Kwam, Yashala. I just make it sound cool. You hear me? But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, Katazar is a main 12-tribe script writer. So I just want to get into a little bit of this real quick, and then we're gonna get the camp killers back up here, man. JT fell off again. DMG, he said he'll be right back. JT. But see, they try to use, ladies and gentlemen, Deuteronomy 33, 20 through 21 to prove that Gad, the Native Americans, right, is part of this deal. This is called cultural appropriation. These people have their own history, their own language. The language family don't even fit into the Semitic Afro-Asiatic language family. You off right there. But let's keep going. Let's get into this. I'm gonna let the camp killers get back in and do their thing. And I guarantee you, won't none of these guys in the audience who support them come up to the stage? Won't none of these leaders of this organization come up to this stage to defend any of this, especially Katazai? Now look at this, y'all. Let's get into the context of Deuteronomy 33, 20 through 21. Now this passage, like the one in Genesis, is firmly rooted in a geography and history in the ancient Near East. It ain't got nothing to do with America. But they want to say that Gad is Native American. Let's go to the NIV. About Gad, he said, blessed is he who enlarges Gad's domain. Gad lives there like a lion, tearing at arm and scalp. He chose the best land for himself. The leader portions was kept for him. When the heads of these people assembled, he carried out the Lord's righteous will and his judgments concerning Israel. Now, here go the scholarly interpretation. This is something that you will never see anybody from ISUPK, GOCC, ICCC, ABCFG, any of these guys, because they want to keep you blinded and just listen to them. But see, my eyes are closed wide open. Their eyes are open wide shut. There's a difference. You got your eyes wide open, but you can't see. I got my eyes closed, but they're wide open because I look into the spiritual. Now look at this. This is part of the blessing of Moses, a series of poems about the tribe's future in the promised land. This is the promised land, y'all, but the promised land ain't in America. But says, this is the scholarly interpretation. Enlarges Gad's domain. Gad lives there like a lion. This confirms, hold on, let me fix this at the top, y'all. Hold up. This confirms what we know, and let me just get this going right here. Okay, this confirms what we know from other texts. The tribe of Gad receives a large territory. Guess what they received of that, y'all? East of the Jordan River. That kills your whole, because the majority of their chart is made up of Native Americans and Hispanics. The only tribe that represent you, y'all, or us, or whatever, according to them, is the African Americans, Judah. Benjamin is the West Indian blacks, and Levi is the Haitian. The rest of them is Ephraim, Puerto Rican, Simeon, Dominicans, Zebulon, Guatemala, and Panamanians, Gad, all of the 536 tribes of the Native Americans supposed to be on this chart, right? Reuben, that's supposed to be an Indian, but he's Seminole. Somehow he got something different from the other ones from Gad. Make it make sense. How about this? Asher, the Colombians, and Uruguay. This makes no sense. Issachar, the Mexicans, the Incas, Mayans, and Aztecs. Are you kidding me? They've been here. You know, and you can't use second edges. What was it 1340 through 50? Something like they came through the Euphrates River and sailed on the ocean for a whole year. They didn't even have them type of ships back then to carry all the family members and everybody. How they say the food? I mean, come on, bro. This just makes no sense. Let's keep going, man, just to show y'all that this is nonsense. And they will not come up here. Captain 10K, I know you peeking in the bushes. I know you is. But see, you don't have to control the bells, whistles, and buttons, and the mute button, and putting me in the back and over talking me and trying to claim a victory. I already beat you over here 10-0. I'm still waiting for DMG to give me my certificate. I asked him for that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever it happened. Now look at this, y'all. So this confirms what we know from other texts. The tribe of Gad received a large territory east of the Jordan River in Gilead. The lion metaphor was a common ancient Near Eastern symbol for a fierce, powerful warrior or king, perfectly matching the description of Gad as a frontier tribe that had to constantly fight off raiders. So let's keep going. See, I'm gonna bust your head. I'm not here to play with you. I'm not gonna do all the ad homs. You don't have any scholarship, you and your goddamn troopers. You know, y'all want to worry about who JJ with and all that, and personal life and all that. Who does that? But we know why you act like that, because they did a whole they did a whole class about Israelite dinglings. I'm gonna show y'all that too. Jabari was there with clowning them. We ain't gonna let you get away without showing that today. I promise you. Promise you, Captain 10K. You don't want to smoke with us. And look at this, y'all. He chose the best land for himself. The leader portion was kept for him. This is a crucial part. It is a direct reference to the story in Numbers 22, where the tribe of Gad and Reuben saw a rich grazing land. See, another thing. Another thing, see, you got the tribe of Reuben. See, they want you to think that, all right, everybody, anybody that's in your car, get off the boat right now in Mexico. Then, and they keep going about another hour later too. All right, all the guys, get off the ship right now. And in 2 hours, our next destination will be in Asher, in Colombia. All you guys get off. That don't make sense. You made it up. Remember, the guy, Ariana's right-hand man said, come on, Pops. You know that ain't right. I know it's not right, but that is the hook to get them in, just like any other church. So don't come around here and make like y'all got it all figured out. I guess they just all went west. Man, them people went east and everywhere else, so you cannot have a chart. He gonna ask me, he gonna say, well, where's your chart?
JJ, you got to stop this, man.
What?
You got to stop this, man. What are you doing right now, man?
What am I doing now? What are you talking about?
I remember that conversation when he was like, "Nah, Pops, that ain't right." I can't believe you. Hey, man, listen. This is you. I think you.
Come on.
I just want to say, man, you know, Captain K and Mashallah is probably watching, bro.
They peeking in, hiding in the bushes.
And I just want you to be careful, brother. Just be careful.
You see who I got up here with me? Matter of fact, that I got you on here. We got to confirm something. Now, do you remember when me and him did the thing? He took a vote. It was 10-0, and I've been asking you for my certificate for 4 years. Have I not been asking you for my certificate?
I did a whole video about it, bro. You don't remember?
Oh, man, see? I gotta get that history because he's trying to act like he beat me.
Look, you know, we be falling in and out of being cool, so I probably took it down. But I did a whole video saying that you beat Captain K 10-0.
10-0. There it is right there. There it is.
The CEO.
Yeah. So
real quick, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have another commitment. I gotta fall off. I'm hoping that Yeshai come back. But I want to thank you all. But I want to thank you all for allowing me to come in, and we can do this again. And I hope those out there in the listening audience, I want these revelations not to be used to titillate you or to throw you off from your faith and your commitment, but just to be aware of who you are around, and bear in mind, always be able to be ready, willing, and able to ask questions, and don't be fanatical. And I thank you again, DMG and CEO Mandinka Mali, for allowing me to come in on the paradigm shift. Have a good night.
I definitely want to have you back on, bro.
Yeah, we're going to bring him back.
Thank you.
I'm going to bring him back for Mandinka Mondays. Hey, GMD gave me a spot. Y'all some trouble. Mondays, it's Mandinka Mali Mondays. I would be bringing on elders. Yeah, go ahead.
If you can go on early tomorrow, it's cool. If not, you know, we got a debate with Steve and Silky tomorrow at 7:15.
Okay, yeah. Hey, shout out to that, man. The title of that debate did the ancient Berbers create the Kemetic dynasty? That's going to be a special treat for y'all. Silk the Shocker versus Steve Calabero, the new Paradigm, one of the new champions over here. So, man, y'all hit that like, share, subscribe, come support the debate. And also, Mandinka Mondays will be coming on a little bit earlier. And if I can't get what I'll be doing over there is bringing on elders and different people that really don't get a voice. And like I said, I'm gonna be out recruiting new people that y'all haven't seen. Give them a chance. I'll be FBAs, Aboriginals. I got the Kemetic elder Patah Asar coming on. He has a book called The Cosmic Egg. I'm supposed to be doing a spotlight debate with Zion Warchild versus Naphtali. There will be no judges. We're just gonna let them get it in like an exhibition fight. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna be doing on that channel. And on that day. So anybody that want to get an interview or come up and bring that information, you're more than welcome. So it's not about me.
Mandinka Mondays coming soon. So y'all make sure y'all check it out. It's gonna be on my channel and on JJ channel. Come and support, and make sure y'all heard for Silky challenging Steve for the Worldview Wars academic title.
Right. Shout out to Chris Harris for becoming a new champion. Shout out to Steve, and I don't know the third champion, but I know there's three of them over here. But yeah,
Haru Conscious is the social media.
Yeah, there you go. And Haru Conscious. Yep. All right, so let's get into this, man, because I mean, remember, the majority of their chart is made up of Hispanics and Native Americans. And if you think about it, the Native Americans is 536 tribes. So really, they make up the majority of these peopling groups, right? So we have to debunk, we really have to deal with Gad, because there's no way that they came over. These Indians were already over here. These Paleo Indians, these people that migrated from this land bridge, came over from Asia, Siberia, that's their bloodline, that's their genetics. So don't let these people fool you into thinking that everybody just got off the boat at one certain stop. All right, we going over here, y'all. Everybody, as you can see, these people mix and match and went together, whoever they kicked it with. As you see right here in Numbers 32, where the tribe of Gad and Reuben saw a rich grazing land east of the Jordan. This is where Gad went, y'all. To choose it for themselves before the tribe received their inheritance. It was the leader's portion. See? Because they, as leaders picked first. This verse especially ties the prophecy to a specific event that took place in the Transjordan, Captain 10K, across the river from ancient Israel. Now, how you getting them over here? Come on, man. I told you that he said, come on, Pops, you know this ain't right. See? So he carried out the Lord's righteous will. This refers to the fulfillment of the promise Gad made in Numbers 32. Now, how you going to deal with that? They're not going to deal with it. They just going to come up here and call me all kind of names. And I'm supposed to be a clout chaser. I'm a clout chaser. I didn't already debate everybody. Beat the majority of it. I ain't going to say I won every debate. That would be egotistical. At least I wouldn't say it out loud. You know what I'm saying? I lost poll debates, but I they got it wrong. You know, I'm in enemy territory, but that's their warriors who would cross the Jordan and help the other tribes conquer their lands before returning to their own portion. So the conclusion, this passage is a poetic retelling of Gad's well-documented settlement in Gilead, or Gilad, however you want to pronounce it. It is not a prophecy about the migration to another continent. JJ Cookie. The lion metaphor is about a marital strength, not a reference to any specific symbols in America. Now let's go to the genetics. Captain 10K, you can come up here, and I know you don't want to. You see what happened when the clock get out for JJ? That is your enemy. That's your enemy. You see what I did to Captain Tazariak 3 times. You see what I did to Captain 10K? Told him. I'm still waiting. I got to get my certificate, man, and put the video back up to remind this guy who he's dealing with. He didn't want that history to come out, but I'm glad you confirmed it, DMG. So let's keep going. So genetic source. Now we don't believe in genetics. I bet you don't, because it goes against your narrative. Distinguishing Native Americans, and this is a distinction between Native Americans and Israelite ancestry, right? So population genetic provides the most. Let me get. Yeah, I'm trying to do the little blue thing so y'all can stay with me, man. Hold up. This touch screen is a little. All right, hold up. Y'all can see that. There you go. All right. So population genetics provides the most definitive evidence that Native Americans and ancient Israelites are what, y'all? Look at that. 2 distinct peopling groups. You cannot just mix and match and add people to fit your narrative. These Native American leaders are really upset with this. They call it cultural appropriation. So Native American genetics, y'all. Let's take a peek at that. Overwhelmingly genetic evidence show that all Native American population. Hold up, y'all. I'm putting too much. Hold up. Let me. Okay. There you go. Oh, come on, man. You know what? Y'all just not. Hold up. I'm trying to get it for y'all. There you go. Bam. All right. Y'all see that? Let me blow it up a little bit. All right. So DMG, you see this? Native American genetics. Overwhelming genetic evidence shows that all Native American population descend from ancient peoples who migrated from Northeast Asia. That's in Siberia. See, we can deal with each individual tribe, your so-called tribe, because I can't cover this all in one show. You know, one at a time. You got Native American genetics. Overwhelming genetic evidence shows that all Native American population descend from ancient peoples who migrated Northeast Asia, that's in Siberia, into the Americas across the Bering Land Bridge between 15,000 and 23,000 years ago. Israel was not a nation yet. It wasn't, but Katazar, what he wants to do is say that the Bering Land Bridge is fake. It never happened. You have to prove that with scholars, not just your lip. See, their DNA is characterized by specific Y chromosome haplogroups like Q and C. The mitochondrial DNA haplogroups like A, B, C, and D, and X. These genetic markers are found in Asian populations. They even run around talking about the Eskimos as part of the 12 tribes. What's his name? He's from the Genesis. He split off from Gorilla Hebrew. I forget the guy's name. But yeah, I've been on my foot been on his neck for years once he said that. Eskimos. Are you serious? So these genetic markers are found in Asian populations. So I could bring all this out, and these people still will not adhere to this information. They don't want to, but it's the truth. I'm not attacking y'all. I'm just trying to bring out real information because this got to stop. Y'all running around in the corner adding people to it and hollering at Africans, talking about they stinky and funky, all that, bro. Well, how did you get over here? From the door no return. That means that according to what you said that in 70 AD, they got dispersed into Africa and amalgamated with some of these tribes. I can give you the subclan because some of these people do say that they are Hebrews. Some of them do say that they Judah and all the rest of them. Okay? So you have to look at that. I'm not saying that all the people in Benin are saying that they're Israelites, but that's why or Mali. That's why I say you got to go into the subclan, but they so scared of Africa, they're not even going to get to that type of information. So these genetic markers are found in Asian populations, not in the ancient or modern Middle Eastern populations. See, you're in some trouble. See, now Israel's Jewish genetic study of both DNA from the Levant and the DNA of modern Jewish population consistently show an origin in the Middle East, the primary Y chromosome haplogroups associated with Jewish ancestors J1, J2, and E. See the E, y'all? Which is common throughout the Middle East and had no ancestors. Look at this, y'all. No ancestral connection to the haplogroups that define Native American ancestry. See what I'm saying? And look, I'm going to bring you some scholar references. They ain't going to do that. They ain't gonna do that. He's gonna say, my master teacher told me this. See, I'm gonna bring out Dr. David Wright, a leading geneticist at the Harvard University, in his book. Man, come on, I gotta get the blue thing going. His book, Who Are We and How Did We Get Here? Explains how ancient DNA has revolutionized or understanding of population migration. We have to understand population migration, man. We just can't go off of, well, I think they all went here and they went there. Well, I'm going to name a whole group of people and put them into the 12 tribes chart. This is why they don't ever want to talk about this, y'all. He going to tell me, what 12 tribes chart do I have to replace it? Where in the Bible do it say anything about a 12 tribes chart? Ask yourself that, right? So, like I said, Middle Eastern origins of Levantian people, like the ancient Israelites. There is no genetic overlap of evidence of shared origin. Yeah, you know some goddamn trouble. I look. That's Dr. David Wright. You can go look him up. I bring in people from Harvard, some of the top universities in America. What they bringing, huh? And so then they also want to go into this Back Creek Stone, right? They say that this proves that they were here. This has been debunked. Look at this, y'all. The Back Creek Stone is a small inscribed. Man, come on, man. I'm trying to get the blue. Maybe I hit it too hard. Okay, there. Hold on, just deal with me for a second, man. I got heavy fingers. All right, that's good enough. So, if y'all have heard, they have used this Back Creek Stone thing as trying to prove Katazar in his presentation, his 12 tribes chart. Because anytime you ask them about the 12 tribes chart, they send you to him. Him and I are supposed to have a debate on Sarnetta TV. Shout out to Sarnetta about this whole situation. But 2 days before the debate, because I caught him mispronounced Katazar, you know what he do? He cancels. Of course. Because look at this. So this Back Creek Stone is a small inscribed stone unearthed in an undisturbed burial mound in Tennessee in 1889 by the Smithsonian Institution. The inscription was initially thought to be Cherokee, but in the 20th century, some French theorists claimed the writing was ancient Paleo-Hebrew. Mainstream scholars consider the Back Creek Stone is not considered credible evidence of a pre-Columbian Israelite presence. Let me say that again, a pre-Columbian Israelite presence. You see? The inscription is upside down for decades. Stone was published and analyzed upside down. When viewed this way, some of the letters bear superficial resemblance to Hebrew, just resemble. Okay, now the source of the inscription in 1971, scholars, so I bring in the scholars, y'all. They dare not do anything like that. You hear me, ladies and gentlemen? Now, in 1971, scholar Cyrus H. Gordon identified the characters as coming from a 19th century Masonic book, the General History, the Encyclopedia, and Dictionary of Freemasonry. This is where it come from, y'all. They ain't gonna tell you that. They know. They know that. You see, they got some of the masonry symbols and stuff. Come on, man. Back in the day, Israelite United in Christ, when they was making their rap song, the video, we was all pointing it out. We know what it is. See, these people are sent in. The inscription of the stone closely matched a sequence of ancient alphabets printed in that book. This strongly suggests the inscription was a 19th century forgery created by someone who had access to this common book. So the Smithsonian's position, Katazai and Captain 10K, the Smithsonian Institute, which excavated the stone, had acknowledged the significant problems with this authenticity. In a 2004 article, look at it, we got articles that busting their heads. They ain't gonna bring you that. They gonna just go read the Bible and lean on their own understanding like they always do. You can't wear jeans. What you mean you can't wear jeans? That's a man's clothing. Where is that? They ain't even talking about jeans in the Bible. As a matter of fact, jeans didn't come out to the 19th century, created by Europeans. When they mean they can't wear a man's clothing, they mean like the tunics, the robes, the headgear is all designed differently. One is designed, maybe the women's might have a V cut, and it's different designs. But they never wore jeans, so how can you be on the corner yelling at people, talking about they in the wrong? Man, you're going to get your act together, man. This is embarrassing. So in 2004 article, the Biblical Archaeology Review, leading Semitic language expert. I'm bringing leading. You see this DMG, man? They ain't ready for so 7,000. I'm bringing leading Semitic language expert, P. Kyle McCarter Jr. If you ain't never heard of him, like Jabari said, you're gonna hear it today. It concluded that the inscription is not authentic Paleo Hebrew and is at best explained as a modern forgery derived from what? The Masonic book. So in conclusion, the Back Creek stone is a classic example of pseudo-archaeology where an object ambiguous features are misrepresented to fit what? Preconceived theories while ignoring clear evidence of fraud. Now let's go to this one thing where they talking about they came to a land where no. So you mean to tell me that America was nobody was here when we already got proof that Paleo Indians and all these other people and groups is already here? Huh? Are you serious? And this been going on for years. There ain't nobody challenging. They ain't gonna let me challenge because they know better. They gonna see this video and will continue to go on with their life. They ain't gonna come in, man, I have to go challenge that. Tazarek won't, Captain 10K won't, the generals won't, none of them. The troopers won't. Omar Muhammad, who was a trooper, he up under the trooper. He want to be one of them so bad. You get up here. I dare you, because I know you're peeking in the audience. Don't try to act like you didn't see it today. I know you is. You're going to get beat up like you did the other day when Capone, GD Capone and Indigenous beat you up. You see? You're trying to call me out. Hey, I let them handle you. So Asheros, often paired with, Idria, was a major city in the ancient land of Bashan. Bashan is located east of the Sea of Galilee, which is now modern-day Syria. See what I'm talking about, man? The Bible mentioned it as one of the two capital kings of Og, Bashan, in Deuteronomy 1 and 4, who was defeated by the Israelites before they entered the Promised Land. The territory of Bashan was given to the half-tribe of Manasseh, who settled on the gap. How come Manasseh ain't on your chart? Let me see, is it on the chart? No, it ain't on your chart. Where's the tribe of Dan? Well, did they just get cut out? Where they at? Man, come on, man. Y'all got to do better than this. Now, let's go to the scholarly identification, y'all. That's what we're going to do. I hope y'all learned something today, just how you battle these guys. They're going to get up there. Once you go against it, they're going to call you all kind of drug heads, and you won't get right until you get in there with them, and they running around doing whole shows on dinglings. I'm going to show you. They call everybody homos, or I don't know if you can say that, but this is what they do when they get caught up. They go to their Adham tool book. You see, to just like this new thing that they're doing, talking about John the Baptist was against Jesus. That's a distraction to keep people from not challenging their chart. And you just made that up last week, 2 weeks ago, man. Ain't nobody trying to fool with that, man. You don't understand the context of scripture. What the hell's wrong with you? So let's keep going, man. So scholarly identification, where several sites or tales have been proposed. The most widely accepted candidate for Astaroth is Tel Ashtara. That's in southern Syria. But let them tell it. They came to a land where no man dwelt before. They went through the Euphrates River, and then they sailed for a whole year across the Atlantic to get here. And then when they got here, Ishakar, get off right here in Mexico. All of God, you are now here. The Native American, it makes no sense, man. And then the crazy part, y'all, they had the Haitians. This is where y'all are messed up. You got the Haitians as the Levites, and when we do the genetic study on them, that's African. That's African. So how you get around that? So here you go. So it says, so this story shows evidence of major fortified cities during the Bronze and Iron Age, fitting the biblical description perfectly. While archaeologists cannot say for 100% certainty that Tel Ashtara is Asheroth without finding a clear inscription on site, they can say that with very high confidence that Asherah was a real city located in that specific region in southern Syria, east of the Jordan. Exactly where the Bible says it was. The idea that we don't know where it is often used to imply that it could be anywhere, but scholars are confident that they know the correct and specific geographical location. So, okay, let's see what else I got here. Yeah. Okay. So let's keep going. So that's a fascinating question. So I asked him a question about is there any proof that Solomon and the Triple Alliance came to America? And I got sources. I can show you the sources. I can go to them too as well. So he using AI as his search engine. You got dang right. I'm using the search engine to give you the sources, reference, the peer review articles, the scholars who agree, the scholars who disagree, the colleges who use it, the book page number, and all that. If you want to use Google, you want to use Chrome, that's on you. I ain't gonna question you about that. Just as long as when you get in front of me, you better have some information that can debunk mine. You see, Captain 10K? So listen to this. So there's absolutely no credible scholarly evidence that King Solomon, because remember they said King Solomon came over here in the Triple Alliance. I used to believe that. See, involving he came to the Americans. This is what they used. You know, across the fields, the consensus across the fields of archaeology, genetics, linguistics, and history says this did not happen. See? Okay, let's keep going. Theories about an Israelite. Hey, hold up, y'all. Hold up. I'm gonna show. I got the articles to these too. Trust me, believe that. I ain't trying to hear none of that. Theories about the Israelite or Phoenician presence in the Americas before Columbus are a staple of pseudo-archaeology, but they fall apart when examined against the actual evidence. Let's break it down, y'all. Okay, we're gonna deal with this. We gotta nip this in the bud right here. Did Solomon really come over here? First, it's important to clarify that the historical alliance was not a group that sailed together to an unknown land. The primary alliance mentioned in the Bible is between King Solomon of Israel, the builder or ruler, King Hiram of Tyre, the ruler of Phoenicia, modern Lebanon, who had ships, sailors, and access to the Mediterranean Sea. This alliance was for trade and construction. Hiram provided the master craftsmen and cedar wood for Solomon's temple in exchange for food and territory. Their joint ventures were business deals, not voyages or exploration to unknown continents. What did the Bible say about Solomon's voyages? Let's dive into that, because they ain't gonna tell you. The Bible describes two major trade routes for Solomon, neither of them which involved crossing the Atlantic. The voyage of Ophir in 1 Kings 9:26 through 28 and 10:11. Route Solomon built a fleet of ships at Azan and Gerber, a ports on the Red Sea. Well, you say they came over here. This means the voyage went south to the Indian Ocean, y'all. I mean, where they get? Hey, where you find these guys at, man? I mean, come on, man. You get in front of this nonsense. Now, here go the destination. Now, anybody, I can't see the audience, but anybody that's in the audience running their lip saying, JJ don't know what he's talking about, you better get, hey, we're going to see it typed in there. All you got to do is come up here and get beat up like the elders do. You hear me? Now let's keep going. Beat up like your pops did. Debo told him. Look at this. I'm Debo 7000. They ain't coming up here. It's my bike, punk. You hear me? Now let's keep going. Cargo. They bought back gold, sandalwood, precious stones, ivory, apes, and peacocks. These are all products of Africa and India. Now look at that. They're all in Africa and India, not the Americas. See, I'm trying to tell you, man. I don't know why y'all come fooling with us. Now look at this. The voyage of Tyresh is 1 Kings 10:22. All right. The route. What's going on?
Whenever you get a second.
Oh, look.
Bear with his family. The brother taking care of something, but he should be back. And then we may even set up a part 2. He may follow up on Mandinka Mondays. However it go, we're going to keep bringing it back to you.
Yeah.
But he'll be back shortly. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me put on the video for me. I'll be back in 5 minutes. We're going to show Katazai trying to teach this. All right, let me put it on her. Then y'all can get an idea what he got. It's like a 10-minute video. If we can get him up here, hold up. I'll be right back. We cooking. We cooking. Hold on, where he at? Let's see. 12 try part 10. I think this is the one right here. Yeah, I'll be right back. Put this up here. Tell me when you can see it. No, not this one. Not this one. No, this is the one. Hold up. Here I go. All right, hold up. Hit that like, share, and subscribe, man. Hold up. He broke this 12 tribes chart thing into 17 different parts. So let me share screen. Hold up, y'all. Yeah. Hold up. All right, here we go. Tell me when you can see that. I'll be right back.
All right. I don't see it yet.
Okay. Here it is. This is when he talk about Gad. He's trying to teach you about Gad. This guy's a bona fide pseudo. Okay, hold on. I remember it. Now listen, he got Gad. Okay, you see it, DMG?
Nope, not yet.
Is it up? Okay, hold up.
All right, I see it.
Or larger, you're gonna do it. Man, you won't be hurt. Understand? A white man gonna die.
That's right.
As well as a lion. How does a lion dwell? A lion hunts. And what would Gad do? Gad would go all throughout the prairie and they would hunt the buffalo. Right. They would use that for their teepees, for their booths.
Right.
And they would dye the top of it red, just like we used to do in ancient times inside the scriptures, and tear at the arm with the crown of the head. Meaning, what did Gad do to his enemies? He went and he took that, you understand, that tomahawk, put it to the scalp of his enemies and tore back the crown. That's how he's going to overcome in the end. You understand? You telling me this is describing anybody else but the North American Indian?
Right.
Come on, man. Y'all out your damn mind. And he provided the first part for himself because there in portion of the lawgiver was he seated, meaning what? Gad, when the kingdom split, Gad tried being the priesthood. That's why even today, you can still see they wear their garments with the fringes and the border of blue. They still call their medicine men or their priest shaman. Right. You understand? Which is basically the Hebrew word for oil. That's you understand? Right. The Hebrew word for anointing. You understand? So now they came over here with the heads of the people. He executed the justice of the Lord and his judgments with Israel. If you go and you look, Gad would stone you if you practice witchcraft because you suffer a witch not to live. They would stone you if you committed treason, meaning if you broke the laws that they had in the land. That's the same thing that we were doing in Israel. Next slide. What we got going on here? It's the Stars Rim fan. But you'll see him right here. is a watercolor painting by George Barbier.
You can take it on.
In 1882 to 1932, he was painting all these different paintings, man. This also came out of remember, the ethnology of America. And you see a Gadite sailing in his canoe with the shield of David right on it. Because once again, this is found in Peru. This is found everywhere amongst us, man. Next slide. The North American Indian, the following is from J.J. Mombert's History of Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, page 63, with an extent from the letter written by William Penn to the Committee of the Free. What they start to find out is that he states that the origin of the North American Indians, I am ready to believe them of the Jewish race. I mean the stock of the 10 tribes, and that for the following reasons. First, they were to go to a land not planted or known, which to be sure Asia and Africa, if not Europe, and all that intended into extraordinary judgment upon their passage, might make the passage not uneasy for them. Meaning what? All those lands were already inhabited. As it is not impossible in itself that the easternmost parts of Asia and the westernmost parts of America. In the next place, I find them like in the countenance. Now he starts talking about all these different things, starts talking about the coins that they found, start talking about how they have altars, feasts, tabernacles, all the same things that they found in South and Central America. Next slide. The Hebrew letters found engraved in the top rock at Ticonderoga and the sheens found in Georgia and the inscriptions on the shekel are evidence that those who were taken by Salmanasseh in the reign of Hosea, they found coins that date directly back to the time of Solomon. They found Hebrew coins with Hebrew letters, you understand, that go directly back to when Solomon was ruling, found all over America. Next slide. So now, are these the only artifacts they found? Hell no. You start to see the Newark Decalogue stone. They say the Decalogue stone, why? Because they found the 10 Commandments written on this stone in Newark, Ohio. Right. The Bat Creek stone. Now, mind you, there's a lot more artifacts than this. Right. However, if they weren't found on an official Smithsonian dig, they try to say that it don't matter. They try to say that it's illegitimate. But the thing is that all these were found by the Smithsonian. All these were found by archaeologists that they want to, you understand, identify with. So is the Bat Creek stone. That they took the Bat Creek stone and they didn't know what the hell it was. They threw it in a box for years. And somebody went pulled out and said, yo, we were reading this upside down. They flipped it over. It said for the tribe of Judah. Right. You understand? The Los Lunas stone. Once again, this is the 10 Commandments that the brother, where you at, brother? Right there. My man right there. My man knew. He knows history. You understand? This was 10 Commandments that was found carved into a rock inside of Mexico, New Mexico. The Hebrew petroglyph panel, meaning that you go and you look, they have petroglyphs of all Hebrew carved inside the Americas. The Tuscan lead artifacts, the earthworks that were found, the Newark keystone, and the Newark stone bowl. Next slide. Just so you can get a visual. Hebrew on the keystone. Hebrew all over the Decalogue stone. The bowl of incense, you understand, burning, found with Hebrew on it. Next slide. This is the Bat Creek stone that they found in Tennessee, clearly with ancient Hebrew on it. Next slide. The Los Lunas stone. This is literally the 10 Commandments right here. That's right. You understand? Literally. Next slide. Why is it the same ancient Hebrew carved into the side of it? Because this is the Decalogue stone that they also found. And once again, they find this in North America. They find this in South America. Right. They find this all over the place. Next slide. Yeah, now we get to chill. Okay? Well, I get to chill. Y'all watch.
The Hopewell Mound Builders built hundreds of thousands of structures out of various types of earth materials. These structures included burial mounds, animal.
All right, I'm back. This guy up here just making up stuff, man. Especially when we was talking about Gad here. Hold up. See, I already had the scriptures for him. I already debunked his Bat Creek stone, all of that. Now we know that we're not going to be able to do all this in one day. You know, I've been on for almost 2 hours. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to believe in the Bible or live hard rock truth to debunk this information, man. You don't have to just be a part of the Christian church or the camp to look at things and evaluate and see it for what it is, man, because they're adding stuff. They're trying to fit an agenda. So, hold on, let me get it back up here. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Let me get back to me. Okay, so this is the part right here when he was talking about, hold up, Gad and all this right here. What is this called? Right here. So now this right here is what they're using. See right here. Now I've already went over this. I've already went over this part. I'm gonna show you again that this has nothing to do with Native Americans. And then I'm gonna show one more little piece of video that Indigenous talk, and then we're gonna end it at a 2-hour mark. I don't want to be, because I want people to watch it. You do 3-4 hour shows, it loses people attention. But y'all can go see this, man. He has a 12 tribe chart breakdown. I have evaluated each and every one of these, from Issachar to Gad to Reuben, all of these, Benjamin, and I'm telling you, I'm going to debunk each and every one. Like I say, it's Mandinka Mali Monday. Maybe every two Mondays, I'll jump back on this information. But I guarantee you one thing: Captain 10K is not going to come up here. He ain't got control of the buttons. But hold on, look. So I mean, if y'all want to be bored and get lied to, we can watch a little bit more of this. But maybe I could do this some other time. But we're going to deal with this right here: Genesis 49:19. I went over this earlier, and then Deuteronomy 33:20. So let me get back to that part, my notes on that, and then I'll show you the phallus worship that they've been doing in these camps. And Dennis here is on the phone. He can speak real quick until I can find that video. But go ahead, Dennis. What do you think about the show so far? Go ahead.
Yeah. You know, JJ, we didn't talk before this came on, right?
No.
All right. We didn't discuss what you were going to talk about, right?
No, we did not.
And you heard when I came in, I said eugenics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And genetics, and you brought up genetics, right?
Yes, sir.
So like I said, they're making this a race thing, brother. They're trying to turn a religion into a race, like I said earlier, okay? And what this is science falsely so-called in 1 Timothy 6:20. That's what the scripture says, and that's what we're dealing with, okay?
Uh-huh.
When we're talking about genetics and DNA, I said, I do, there's good and bad in everything. There's good and bad Hebrew Israelites, there's good and bad science.
Right.
But what I'm telling you, playing bingo, B105 N3 bingo, as they're trying to change your DNA to R2D2 and C3PO to connect you to the World Wide Web using Neuralink and using prosthetics, that are linked to the World Wide Web and link us to the World Wide Web.
Uh-huh.
And control our minds.
That's for sure.
See? But like I said, I don't want to go too far. Was the word fulfilled, JJ, for Joseph, right, in the 12 tribes? I want to ask this question.
Go ahead.
Because and just like I said, y'all can go ahead and remember where y'all heard it first. Was the word fulfilled for Joseph and his 11 brothers who put him into captivity, by the way? Was it fulfilled later through, the freeing of God's people through Moses?
Uh-huh.
See, because we have a big leaving of Africa back in the day with Joseph.
Right.
That's when Atmos, that's when I attributed. I brought this up. This is when I attributed Joseph to the Hyksos, because there's a Pharaoh there that knew Joseph, and then later on, remember the story says there's a Pharaoh who knew not Joseph, right? And then at first Joseph was getting the land. He brought his family over and all that to Africa. And, and then Pharaoh came along that did not know Joseph and, ran them all out of Egypt. It says he ran them all out of Egypt, right?
Yeah.
And then later on, like 400, 500 years later, here comes Moses. And there's that's the great Exodus right there.
Right.
And the freeing of the people and fulfilling of some of the promises and the covenants that was given to Abraham and that lineage. You see what I'm saying? And those other people, right?
Yeah.
And we know that Israel wasn't Israel until Jacob anyway. But then so what they're doing, family, is they're changing everything, and they're claiming everything else, like racist science here and said that we came from white people, and they're trying to change it to go to say that they ain't from Africa, right? Just to say that they're not from Africa, and they talk terribly about Africa. Well, let's read some scriptures about Africa real quick, JJ.
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
Go ahead. It only take me a second,
Yeah,
brother.
do your thing, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, and India was given that name by the colonizer. It was Hindustan at first. It was not India. So when they say India, that's a modern term too. All right. So anyway, this is Psalm 68 and 31. Princes shall come out of Egypt. Ethiopia shall also stretch out her hands to God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This is telling you that this is going to happen in the scriptures. And it's talking about Egypt and Ethiopia right there. And then here's Hosea 13 and 4. Yet I am the Lord. Wait a minute. Yet I am the Lord your God. Ever since the land of Egypt, you know no God but me, for there is no Savior besides me. Let me read that again, JJ.
Yeah.
Yet I am the Lord your God. Ever since the land of Egypt, you know no God but me, for there is no Savior besides me. And that's Hosea 13 and 14. So they're saying that, this doesn't have anything to do with Egypt and those lands. Yes, it does. And you're going against your own. And the Bible also tells you that the Garden of Eden was also a part of Africa, those rivers that came out of the Garden of Eden, and one of them went all the way down, what was called the Gihon, went all the way down to and encompassed the whole of Ethiopia. So if you want to call yourself Afro-Asiatic, you can, because the garden's telling you in the scriptures. Now, this is the Bible that we're supposed to believe in.
Sorry.
But you guys swear that y'all.
Hold on, let me turn you back up. My fault.
It all starts with the Garden of Eden, and that river that came down to Ethiopia, that's a part of the garden. All of that was a part of the Garden of Eden. So yes, we're African, and you can say we're Middle Eastern or whatever else you want to call it too.
Mm-hmm. Right. Don't hang up, because I'm gonna cut this a little short, because I can't cover everything in one. It'll probably be a 3-4 part series. But I need to deal with the Tainos. This is something that I need, because they want to make excuses for and say that the Taino Indians, because I guess that's who Katasa is calling himself, right? So they try to say that the Taino Indians is Puerto Rican, he's Ephraim. So let's dive into that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna play with y'all, right? So the origins. I don't know if my screen is sharing or not. DMG might have, he kind of tired, but I can read it, and then next time I come on Mandinka Mondays or whatever, we got a lot to unravel. Trust me, this is like an onion that has peeled back many layers. So the origin of Taino, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey JJ, your screen up, bro.
Oh, cool. Thank you. The origins of Taino. The word likely did not refer to entire people. It is believed that when the Spanish first arrived and when the Spanish first arrived and asked who they were, people that they met were from Latino or noble class, and responded with their rank. See, they don't even know what they're doing with it, which meant something like, we are good, noble ones. See, the Spanish, not understanding the social structure, mistakenly applied this name to the entire culture. Now let's go to the Now I'm gonna teach you today. The Lions Den Academy of Education and Information, we bring it out. Let's keep going. Now look at this, y'all. And then look, the scholarly term Arawak, and this is what the people are supposed to be called. Many historians and archaeologists prefer island Arawak because it's linguistically accurate. It's It correctly identifies the people by their language family that belong to the Arawakan family, which connects them to their ancestors. Look at this, y'all. Their ancestral origins on the South American mainland. It places them in a proper historical context. See, so let me keep going, man. I told you, man. I don't know why they come over here playing around. Look, the Captain K, he dare not touch that lake. You know how I always would jump up there. They're not built for this, because they have to be in a safe spot. Because if they can't control the whistles, the bells, and the mute button, they have problems, because they got to be quiet. They have to respect the clock. So reclaiming the name This is the most powerful part of the story today. For centuries, colonial powers declared Taino people extinct. In recent decades, descendants from across Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and Cuba, and they spread out. And the diaspora have begun proudly to identify Taino by reclaiming the name, even when it was complicated origins. They are rejecting the narrative of the extinction, and it has become a powerful symbol of survival. Now, so while the island Arawak might be more technical precise from scholarly perception, Taino has become a chosen name for many peoples themselves, transforming it from a colonial misunderstanding to a modern banner to identify. It's a perfect example of how identity is complex, dynamic, and ultimately defined for the people who claim it. So, hold on, let me. I got some more Taino stuff. I know my time.
Social construct. They're just taking on, adopting the word that they gave us and adopting it upon yourself, like I've been teaching y'all for years as a social construct, just like the N word. They gave it to us. We adopted it upon ourselves. Simple as that.
Yeah. Hey, check this out, y'all. So now we got all these people that they claim is the Northern Kingdom, right? The Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians, Native Americans, similar enemies, Colombians, Uruguay, Mexican, Aztec, Argentina, Chile. Now, every of these people you listed, or I've listed, has its own distinct history, culture, language, and spiritual tradition that is entirely separate from those of the ancient 12 tribes of Israel. Scientific and historical evidence overwhelmingly shows that the indigenous people of the Americas, from the northernmost parts of Canada to the southern tip of Argentina, share common ancestry rooted where? Look at this, y'all. Look at this. They added Asia. Here's a breakdown of some of the specific groups you mentioned with sources to demonstrate their unique and non-Israelite origin and culture. I told you, Captain TK, I was going to get you. And I already beat you 10-0 over here. Now, next time it's probably going to be 100-0. This nonsense you getting in front of us with. This is why he don't get up here, y'all. Tazariak, none of them. The Johanna, none of them. So let's start with the Aztecs of Mexico. We're going to get through this, and I'm going to show a clip of like a 5-minute video, and then we're going to close out, and we're going to be a part 2 and 3. Because like I said, I can't touch on all the tribes, but the majority of their tribes is like I say, 10 of them is all these other people, Guatemalans and Native Americans and Colombians, and then they hate Africa. I mean, make it make sense. Then I'm gonna get into the next show. Some of them went east, so you cannot have a 12 tribes chart because everybody wasn't grouped into one spot. All right, this is a car. Get off right here on the boat. This is your stop. Just snap the ticket. No, that ain't happen, man. So let's keep going. All right. Now the origin of language. See, we're dealing with linguistics right here, right? Origin and language. The Aztecs, who call themselves the Mexica, were a Nahuatl-speaking people. I think they're supposed to be these people that you're calling us, but they're supposed to be speaking a Semitic language. This already, you're getting your head bust. You hear me, ladies and gentlemen? And Super Wavy, you tell, and I already took Jose Vega belt over there. I'm the Powerful Bills only champion over there. He talking about Israel in America. It's in Utah. See, y'all caused this. When you start adding them into your chart, they got mad at y'all and said, y'all was Canaanite dogs. Y'all ain't the people. This the fire that y'all created. And 7,000 and the rest of the team, we're here to put it out. And we dare you to come up here and try to challenge anything, which they won't. Let's keep going.
Hold on real quick. It's going to take me 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
Never cursed. That is a lie from hell. Okay? And they keep on repeating it. Ham was never cursed. The curse went on Canaan. Okay? And Canaan was the son of Ham. All right? So we got to stop that, the curse of Ham, because that's what modern science used to,
scientific racism.
We were less than, to keep up that narrative of eugenics or Darwinism or, the ones prior that I've taught y'all about. Like I said, that is just pushing the narrative, and they're taking that and adding it to their narrative because it fits their narrative that we are less than because we are black. When all people have to come from black people, because if not, you ain't getting no black people out of 2 white people. Listen to what I'm telling you. You will not get no black people out of 2 white people, maybe. So that's a lie. And that is also coming from modern science, which comes from Blumenbach. All right? And he said that when he created craniometry, he said that we came from white. Our original people
the skull was white.
on this planet came from white people. Because the skulls were white.
Make it make sense.
That was his science.
Wow.
No science.
Pseudoscience. Yeah. All
Go
right.
ahead, JJ.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna give you hey, like I say, man, Dinka Monday day, man, it's going down, man. So look at this, y'all. So we know that each of these people had their own culture and language and all that. How you trying to squeeze this in, shoehorn it in, you know? So their language was Nahuatl speaking people. Nahuatl is a key language in the Uto-Aztecian language family, which has its roots in the American West. Nothing, they ain't got nothing to do with no Levant. It has no connection to the Hebrew or any Semitic language. You're getting your head just split to the white meat all over the goddamn stage, man. Hey, make sure you call this guy. I know he ain't even picking up the phone, y'all. He up under the bed in the goddamn fetal position with his thumb in his mouth, shaking. You hear me? Oh, what JJ doing this thing? I know. See, their origin story speaks of a migration from where? A mythical northern homeland called Azatian in the Valley of Mexico. What the hell going on? Right. Right. They just talking about speaking on OSP yesterday. I heard a guy talking about Moses went down to hell and brought him back up, brought Pharaoh up and made him right and had him labor with the Israelites 300 years after the Israelites left Kemet. We heard that in the debate. We already dealt with that. Yara must have forgot yesterday. I meant to tell him. But anyway, because Yara like, yeah, man, we might need to talk about the Yara. Remember, we already dealt with that. Okay, but listen. So because Malachi was teaching at Malachi Maccabee. And we, before the OSP debate. Let's keep going. So their God and religion. So all this I'm bringing out, Captain 10K, I want you to do a response video. And if you have to bring your ghostwriter, bring him. This is all fair. I ain't doing no ad hoc, so there shouldn't be no reason to run. Remember, you are the home of the truth, according to yourselves, right? But they have a problem. Yeah, right. But they have a problem when we challenge the information. They had their own God. They had a complex polytheistic religion. Wait a minute. Polytheistic religion. Their most important God included Huzazikpuku, I can't even pronounce that, the god of sun and war, Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, a creator god. They had Telik, the god of rain. This ain't got nothing to do with no Hebrew Israelites, y'all. They're making it up. Look at these. These deities are unique as a Mesoamerican cosmology. Their capital, Tenochtitlan, was a marvel for engineering. See, you can't take away these people's history by and put it in your dang on chart. Was a marvel of engineering, a massive city built on the lake of a floating garden called Chinampas. All right, let's go to the Taínos of Caribbean. Now, we just dealt with who? We just dealt with the Aztec of Mexico. They're supposed to be Issachar. Now, Taíno supposed to be Ephraim. Now, watch this. I'm gonna bust your head. I'm gonna get all your tribes. See that? And then, trust me, I got more information to blow your wig back. Shout out to the Lions Den, McQueen, Jenny A. Shout out to the team. Shout out to DMG, Paradigm Shift TV, man, for adding me to the team and giving me a Monday to just do shows and educational. Like I said, I'm a retired debater. I do a spotlight debate. I'm not doing no tournaments or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody else shine. I've been a champion for years. That's right. All right. Now, origin and language. The Taino people of the island of Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, and Cuba. Then wait a minute, y'all in Cuba spread out. So how y'all got them going in one spot? You gotta bring a chart if we're gonna talk about what. There is nowhere in the Bible say you got to have a chart.
Your son is rolling in his grave.
You're right. And it take a. It probably, no, I ain't gonna do big fun like that. Come on, man. Right, man. Come on, man. Look at this, y'all. The Taino people of islands like Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, and Cuba spoke a language from the Arawakian language family. This ain't got nothing to do with no Semitic speaking language family. This language group originated on the Orinoco River basin of the South Americas. I'm bringing you to business. We bringing you to business, the camp killers, indigenous black man, Team Lions Den. This is what we do. Now look at this. And its speakers migrated northward into the Caribbean islands thousands of years ago. Sorry about that, y'all. Now let's talk about the Taino God and their culture. Their spiritual life was centered on the worship of Zemus. This ain't got to do with no Yahweh, Yahweh, and come on, man. What are we doing? They're mixing and matching, just like what's his name? What's that cat name? Brother Sanchez, man. I'm gonna get him next. we'd already been beating them up, which were deities of ancestral spirits. Wait a minute, look at this, y'all. By idols made of woods. They forgot their weight when they came over here. That's the excuse they use. That ain't gonna work. Their supreme creator was Yokahu, and his mother was Atabe, the goddess of freshwater and fertility. The society was organized into chiefdoms called Kakasgos, each ruled by a chief or a Kaku. All right, now let's go to the Seminoles, y'all. I got them all. I got them all. I got them all. So this list.
The Seminoles are Hebrews.
Brother, let me. We're gonna see what they say. All right? Now you got to do that. Hey, yeah, that's how they got it. See, they said, hey, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They got to be one of us. The hell going on here? That's sounder. You ever heard of looking shit? That's sounder shit. What they got going on? Like, come on, man. Hey, where you from? Oh, that's the linguistics. Hey, y'all. Hey, come. Look at this, man. The Seminole Nation was formed in the 1700s in Florida from a mix of different indigenous groups, primarily the Muskogee Creek, people who migrated from Georgia to Alabama, as well as other groups. Muskogee belonged to the Muskogee language family of the southeastern U.S. This had nothing to do with Hebrew, y'all. They are families known for their unconquered people because they never signed a final peace treaty with the United States. So their culture and beliefs, Seminole culture, integrated with many Creek traditions, such as the annual green corn dance. Look at this. So that's what Jose Vega said. See, the green corn dance is a scripture in the Bible to say something about the corn. Man, if you don't get it, see what I'm saying? They're doing lookership, soundership, and all kind of stuff that just don't make any sense. They develop unique cultural adaptations to Florida everglades, like their open side homes, stilts, and chickees. Their history is also uniquely intertwined, with that of the black Seminoles. So you got some black ones in there, formerly enslaved Africans. See what I'm saying? That's formed an allied community tribe. Let's go to Argentina and Chile, y'all. I told you, man. So you had Argentina and Chile. They got them as the Natali, y'all. Natali, the tribe of Natali. That's the Mapuche. The dominant indigenous group in this region is the Mapuche, whose name means people of the land. Their language, Mapuchean, is a language isolated with no demonstrated connection to any other language family in the world, let alone those in the Middle East. I mean, you're getting your head busted left and right up here like a punching bag. You see what I'm saying? You knocked your head off, like Judah Nazareth say, kicking it to the cheap seats, playing kickball with your head. Shout out to Judah Nazareth. Culture, known for their fierce resistance to both Inca and the Spanish empires for over 300 years, the Mapuche have a rich spiritual tradition centered on the Machi shaman, who communicates with the serpents, the spirit world. This ain't got nothing to do with no Hebrew Israelite stuff. They doing their own thing, man, and I ain't knocking it. And a belief system revolving around the tales of Trenton Vila and Kakia Vila, two mythical serpents of earth and sea. Where's that in the Bible? Right? Other people's like that now extinct. Go ahead, Indigenous. You gotta say something?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm almost done with this. I'm almost done. Yeah, other people, because I can't get it all in one day, but I went over maybe the Native Americans. I especially addressed the Taino right now because that's who they say in Katazai is. I also went over the Levites because they got the Haitians as the Levites. I've already shown that those are African people, but y'all hate Africans. So how they on your dang on chart? See, this is easy. This is light work. You see at the bottom right here, so it says sources. I can show you the sources right there, man. You can't use AI. Why not? They give you sources, references, peer review articles, Chicago manual style, cited references, cross references, the schools. I mean, the books and arts. I ain't trying to hear that. If you want to take your time on Google, that's your business. But like I said, I don't care where you get your information from. When you get in front of me, you better have the information to debunk what I'm saying, because I'm bringing information that's going to debunk you. Period. Now, other people's like they're now extinct extinct Selkman or Tierra del Fuego were nomadic hunter-gatherers adapted to the extreme cold of Patagonia. In every case, from the well-known Aztec Empire to the 574 federally recognized tribes, there's 574 recognized tribes in the United States. You mean tell me Gad and his buddies, they made all of them, y'all. I already showed you Gad. I already showed you where Gad went. They went over there in the east. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what this guy's doing. Okay, so the 574 federally recognized tribes in the U.S. and the diverse peoples of Central and South America, the archaeological, genetic, linguistic, and cultural records all point to a history that is rich, ancient, and entirely homegrown. See that? In the Americas. All right, man. Come on, man. I can't touch on all this at once. Hold up, because I want to show this little video of some of the teachers, and we're gonna get up out of here, man. Trust me, we're gonna be back. So, like I said, did I read this? Yeah, I read that. Okay, let's keep going. Wait. Here, hold up. Let me pop this up over here. See, you see how you hit that button right there for those that talk about JJ, and then see over here, y'all. Can y'all see that over there to the right? See me go with my arrow. These are sources right here. Right here. These are the sources. They give you sources. See that? SOURCES. No, you ain't got to take my word for it. There it is in your face. I'm not trying to hear nothing you saying. Well, he ain't got it in the PowerPoint presentation. I can go to PubMed. Look at this, y'all. See? I can go to PubMed. Then right here, you hit this. There it is right there, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. See, look, after PubMed sources listed in Native American language family. You see that, y'all? See, 7,000, man. I'm going to take advantage of my searches. It ain't my fault you want to do it another way. Shit. Okay, but look, I'm going to, there go more. Look, hit this again right here. We're going to bring up more sources. Look. See, I ain't got to put it, look. You see at the bottom? They do that on Wikipedia, too. They give you a source when they put the little number by it. Man, I don't know why. It ain't fair that he using that. No, he cheating. Well, shut up and get on the level. All right, so look. So, okay. Native American language family. Let me get a little bit into the Native American language family, man. These are some of the sources. Is that right here? It says, where did Hebrew come from? Proto-Sinaitic script. Then you got the sources for the Native American family, language families. I mean, they're distinct. They don't work together, man. There's two different things. And then I can go into the roots of Hebrew, a branch of the Afro-Asiatic tree. I don't have time to do it all today, man. So like this is gonna be like a different part series. Because I want to show this video. Let me see what else I got for you that I really want to show today. Yeah, man. I want to, hit you all at once. Language family for Native American history, class notes. Hold up. Okay, there's more sources. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop on that part because I want to show this this video of some of the teachings. Oh, let's see what's here. Okay. Yeah.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
All right, yeah. Remember, family. Like I said, we all, the origins say we all start from one place. And when you're trying to add race to it, it's you're going into more modern science.
Yeah, so we're gonna stop there.
And scientific racism. You're just using their talking point. And like I said, we got to be wary of people who make up stuff. And, the whole thing is they're saying that they're following Christ, but they're not. Because, if they did believe that, then they wouldn't even be talking about the curses of Ham anymore. Because, in the scriptures, it says Jesus took away all the curses of the law by becoming a curse for us on the cross.
Mm-hmm.
So you see how they lie. And then 1 minute Jesus will fit their narrative, but then the next it won't. Like them saying Joseph is Jesus' father. I hear some camps saying Joseph is Jesus' father.
Oh.
And that's a lie straight from him.
Yeah.
Why did the angel have to come to Mary, Joseph, John's mom, and John's dad?
Right.
And mute John's dad's mouth because he was whatever he was doing was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Till John was born. Why did they have to come to them to tell them? Why did the angel have to come to Joseph and say, "Hey man, don't put her away. This is my creation inside of her."
Mm-hmm.
Why did the angel have to come? See, they lying on the Bible and they make it fit their narrative, and they're wicked and they're following men. And just like Dan, JJ asked about Dan.
Yeah.
Dan started worshiping idols that they were building themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Dan lost his privilege, I believe.
Right.
You know, I could be wrong, but I know he was making idols for himself, and that's why I think he's left out of that, you know, that picture. You see what I mean?
Right.
And this is exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They said it in the video, the Star of Rembrandt. Yeah, that's what it says. God said he turned them over to worshiping their star, you know, which is the Star of Rembrandt, which they call the Star of David.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Star of Rent, you know what I'm saying? And that's a wicked symbol.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they'll tell you, oh, this is the Star of David. Oh, this is the Star of David. And they put in the sun, the moon, the stars, birds, the ocean, anything in the ocean, anything on the land.
Over the
They're venerating all that over top of God, who is the creator. You're venerating God's creation over God, and that is wicked. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're putting themselves on the pedestal over God.
Let me ask you this, Indigenous. So what do you think about one of the teachers when they say that salvation is only for Israelites? Can you kind of go on like maybe a 2-minute deal? And DMG, is this video, can you see my screen? Let me know. I'm going to show this and we're going to end this if you could show that. But go ahead and elaborate on your thoughts about them saying that salvation is only for Israelites.
That's a lie.
Why you say that?
Because Christ, the Bible tells you that it's for anyone who believes and has the faith since Jesus came.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You believe in Jesus and in the name, you know, there's no Trinity. You know, Jesus is the Word of God. It says, great is the mystery of godliness.
Hmm.
This is 1 Timothy 3:16. It says, great is the mystery of godliness. God was manifest in the flesh, seen on by the angels, preached to the Gentiles, and taken back up into glory.
Wow. Preached to the Gentile, that the Gentiles were just Israelites who were separated from, you know, I guess some of the other tribes. They were Gentiles. They didn't know they were Israelites. They were just in other lands, and we got to go regather them. What do you think about that type of teaching? Go ahead.
Well, they wasn't Israel until Jacob, like I told y'all. And it's also funny that Abraham left her and went over and settled in that land before they even had Jacob anywhere around. Remember, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So who went over there and settled that land? Abraham went over there first. On promises 400 years before the law that you put Moses up over top of everybody else. And Jesus, it says all things was created through him, by him, and for him. So he created the lineages, he created the law, he created the heavens, he created the earth, and he created man, who you worship, who you put over top of God, your captain, and your whatever you want to call yourself, your rabbi. Jesus is supposed to be the only rabbi. It says in the book, do not call yourself a rabbi.
Yeah.
But these people want to be Jews, and Jews comes after the Second Temple fall through rabbinic Judaism. When the Pauline, they went away from the Pauline doctrine and created their own BS and created Judaism. This is the rabbinic Judaism. The rabbis who killed Jesus, the Jews who killed Jesus, they went off and created their own, and they called it Judaism. And in their Talmud and stuff, it says that we are goyim, that we should be of the New Testament prophets, but they go and deny Jesus, just like Islam. Islam talks all that smack. But guess what? Jesus is in your book more than Muhammad and any other of your leaders in that book. Jesus is in there more than any of them. And you mock Jesus, just like these Jews who is trying to create an all-white nation in Israel right now, and saying that the brown people who's coming in have to be sterile. Guess who that sounds like? Hitler. Yeah. It sounds just like Hitler, what Hitler did to them. They was trying to make an all-white state in Germany, and they was trying to sterilize, or all through eugenics. The Jewish population in the gas chambers and having to sterilize doing all that. They're doing the same, the eugenics here in America with the Negro Project and Planned Parenthood and all these things.
Yeah.
And then they sit up here and act like they don't want nothing to smoke.
That's right. They don't want to. You see Captain Jim K and his little flunky Macaco Bar, whatever his name is. You see, they ain't nowhere near this show. They act like they shopping somewhere. You know,
they ain't putting out nowhere near this information.
Nowhere near.
But you'll hear them regurgitating it tomorrow, though.
No, they ain't gonna regurgitate this truth.
No, you'll hear them regurgitating it tomorrow because when you bring out the truth, you can't beat it. So what you got to do, join it to your BS. Just like did with science can't speak in absolute because a new science tomorrow will change everything like Neptune did. Now you hear him saying Neptune and science can't speak in absolute.
Yeah.
I mean, you say scientific racism.
Yep.
Oh, scientific racism. Man, I mean, don't say so many things. And just like I said, they ain't nothing but regurgitating.
Well, they on the hit list.
Saying it tomorrow, brother. They'll be saying it tomorrow.
Yeah, they on the hit list. They know who they are. You know, DMG, can you share my screen so we can show this little clip real quick, man? And then I'm gonna close out, man. And like I said, this might be a 3-4 part series, and there's so much information. What we're gonna do by the next time we go over this in 2 weeks is we'll look at Costa's teaching, and like I say, everything that he's teaching, I'm gonna have a rebuttal for it because it's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah. Let me close out real quick, JJ.
Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
So you can do that. Peace and love, everybody. And like I said, Jesus is the main topic, and if you got to believe in you got to have faith. You know, all of that as far as the book goes. You know, they want to stay stuck in the Old Testament. Jesus said, "Well, he told the Pharisees, you will be judged by Moses because that's what you believe." And just like today, that's all a lot of them believe is Moses. The Old Testament, they don't believe in Jesus. But I love y'all. Like I said, and just remember that. Just remember that. And that's the main topic. And Africa is a big part of the Bible, and there are people, and they say that all humanity started in parts of Africa in that Garden of Eden story. So I love y'all. Keep y'all's head high and your grass low and stop lying to my people. All right. Peace. Thank you, JJ. Peace, man. Thank you, peace to the chat. Love y'all.
Right. We trust me, we ain't done with. Yeah, let me call DMG so he can share this, and then we're gonna get up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? These guys don't have a snowball's chance in hell when it comes to try to defending this 12 tribes chart. You know what I'm saying? And then this is why they send their flunkies into my JJ chasing clout. Nah, brother, in my mind, I am the clout. And I'm not just saying that. I'm just patting myself on the back. I'm saying that because the clout takes down these fake teachers, these liars, these cults. Cesar, you even got cult leader on your shirt. And then when we attack you with it, you was, oh man, I'm in culture. Then why didn't you put culture leader? That don't even sound right. No, you're in a cult. Anytime another man got to ask another man, can he go speak? Cesar, you had to get permission 3 times to debate me from your leader. You calling it a grown man, a trooper. That sounds like a little kid. Let me call DMG so we can close this out. Let me hold up. So I want to show y'all this. Because this is the thing with man worship. They did a whole show talking about Israelite dinglings. A whole class. No penis is better. This is the leader. This is what the leader said. No penis is better than the 12 tribes. How you know, bro? What would make you even do a whole teaching on this? Look, even Jabari was clowning. I know Captain 10K, you don't want to hear it, but you're gonna hear it today. Just like we just debunked your lie when you said you beat me. Everybody know you got beat 10-0 over here. And I wasn't even a part of Paradigm Shift, so you can't say they was biased. Hold up, y'all. Let me get DMG in here. Let me call him. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Hope y'all take down some notes. Anytime they trying to talk about this, like I said, 10 of the tribes that they got on here, it don't even relate to look like you. I don't even know why they trying to defend this. You can't there's nowhere in the Bible talking about we got to make a chart and this is where everybody went. You made that up. And this is why they don't want to see me. Ain't that right, folks? Yeah, they ain't never beat us, Elder. I'm going to bring you on here for a spotlight. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. And also shout out to FOPE, for our people's edification. I was a debate champion over there. Now Natalie, after I retired, Natalie holds the belt. You see what I'm saying? 2-time debate champion on the HOK. After a while, I was deemed the GOAT, the greatest of all time of debaters over there. I retired the GOAT. Well, they kind of retired me because I was too much, beating people up. They had to get me out the way. You see? Come on, man. People's champ. You see what I'm saying? I'm champion in a lot of different areas when it comes to this, man. But you got people out there that, JJ, you old, you washed up. They don't want to hear it. Look, this ain't no physical sport. This is a mental game. I can do this till I'm 86, like some of these old leaders out here, the teachers. Yeah. Professor Smalls and the rest of them out there, they still out here doing it. He just did a show today, him and the Apostle. The Apostle 70-something years old, so I ain't trying to hear no shit. I'm 50. I'll be 55 in August. I can keep going another 20 years, maybe longer. Let me call DMG, man, because I want y'all to see this video. You know how they be like, yeah, right, like Trump elder. You know how they say, get in class and all that. What if I would have went to class this day, Captain 10K? What if I would have went to class this day? Jabari was outraged when he come into class and running around. And he said, not a woman in sight. But they always want to call everybody else effeminate and all that. Bro, y'all didn't have a woman in sight doing push-ups oily with baby oil and rubbing on, but bro, come on, man. Let me call DMG. Because I don't have control of the thing. Let me get DMG in here so we can get up out of here on this note. Man, make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe. I got so much information to blow your wig back. I promise you. You see Captain 10K? Like if my name would have been like Captain 10K would have been calling me out, I would have been on stage. That's what I do. Hold up. Yeah, hold up. Yeah. Hold up. Let me get shout out to Water Blue, Vincent Mueller. Shout out to FOPE, Kona, Vincent. Who else in here that I haven't shouted out yet? Shout out to McQueen, Jenny Hayes. Okay, yeah. Shout out to Live Heart Rock Truth. Welcome. You know what I'm saying? American Negro. See, American Negro, you okay, I guess I'm going to keep teaching till DMG get back. See, you talking about slurring and spitting. Man, get up out of here. Why don't you hit the link? This probably Captain 10K right now. I'm bringing out all this information, and your dumb ass in here want to do ad-homs? You got to be one of the dumbest American Negroes. You ain't man enough to get up on this stage. So stay where you at in the honest with your pom-poms and shake them. That's what you do. You one of my cheerleaders. You love to hate me and hate to love me. Yeah, I know you love JJ. Every time I see you, you want to be a troll. You ain't got no information. We can't even find none of your shows. Look, JJ been drinking. Ain't that a bitch? All that information is up here. All that what the mother brother said. That's the best you got. Why don't you come up with something like debunking our information? But you's a joke. See, that's what these guys do. They want to do personal attacks because they cannot beat real information. So I got to keep teaching till DMG get back. Hold up, man. What else I got? They want to talk about this Barron Straight stuff. Hold up. Let me see. Hold up. I got something for you. All right. I'm going to lie and talk about because I said that Barron Straight was a lie and all that. It didn't happen. So I can't share my screen, but I'll show you. I put the sources in there. Bering Strait crossing, how first Americans arrived, So we get them back into these Native Americans, how they have nothing to American Negro with your dumb ass. They have nothing to do with the Levant. You in here for the straight. Look at JJ slurring. Shut up. I could beat you drunk if I was drinking. You would get beat. You would get beat up with me drunk. That's how dumb you is to even believe this nonsense. So the Bering Strait refers to the migration of ancient people from Siberia to North America via land bridge known as Beringia. So this guy, Katazar, in one of his 12 tribes breakdown said that this didn't happen because he know that pinpoints the Native Americans to Siberia and Asia. And it debunks their lie. You see? So the land bridge and Beringia during the last American Negro, I promise you, you don't want to bark up this tree because you will get embarrassed. We can't even find you nowhere on social media. You just a damn troll. It's probably Captain 10K's flunky that he got with him. The one that got passing out bent up food cans. You know what I'm saying? He think he doing something. Get you a job, bro. Go learn how to build a house. Jesus was a carpenter. You see me out there doing carpentry work. You see me out there driving heavy machinery. Teach your people something besides being a goddamn on troll. You see me out there doing commercial roofing and all that, bro. Like if me and you was put on an island, and all of us on an island, you would be stuck passing out canned goods. Outdated canned goods to the people and think you really doing something. I'm gonna build you a house from the ground up. I have that skill. You don't. You ain't never seen these ISP guys building anything. Building a lie. Now, during the last glacial maximum around 20,000 years ago, sea levels dropped to around 120 meters. The American Negro, write this down. Just slow ass. You've been trolling all through the show. You ain't even trying to pay attention. Who sent you in? The Rosicrucians? We ain't even gonna talk about how like he said, like Malachi said, y'all sold out to him. You got your 501c3. That means you have to let Katazai in and pass him off as one of us. And like we Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and Blind Melon-Jelly. Come on, man. We see straight through that lie. We see straight through it, sir. So I'm challenging you to get your dumb ass up here. I bet you won't. So stay, like I say, stay in the chat where you belong and let the real scholars up here on the stage. That's what you do. So you man enough to get up here. And I gave you a little shout out. Now you can go home. JJ shouted me out today, Ma. Yeah, I know he did. Put in your dear diary. That was the first time JJ recognized me. I've been trolling him for years. You dumbass. Let's keep going, man. I got to get the trolls a shout out here and there. You know what I'm saying? Now, look. This is exposing a vast landmass between northeastern Asia, Alaska, known as Beringia, right? So this connecting the present-day Siberia, Russia, and Alaska to the United States. Come on, man. The migration theories for decades, archaeologists believe humans crossed Beringia around 13,000 years ago. Israel wasn't even a nation, y'all. Following big game. Then you get the pre-Clovis evidence. See what I'm saying? Recent discoveries challenging this timeline. Sites such as Monte Verde in Chile suggest humans reached South America about 14,500 years ago. These are some of the Native Americans' ancestors, y'all. I don't know how they end up in Egypt and Israel. The genetics show something different. Indigenous may not believe it, something about the genetics, but I do. I don't dismiss science. You see. So the Bluefish Cave is where they find these guys in Yukon and Canada. Show possible human activity around 24,000 years ago. American, the Negro. Did your dumb ass know that? I bet you didn't. Huh? That's why you won't get up here. You get beat up, just like your captains and your generals. You see, they ain't coming nowhere near this panel today. Any other time they're in the audience, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it, y'all. Some researchers propose a coastal migration route, on the Pacific coastline. While early people's traveling along the Pacific coastline, that's called the Kelp Highway. I've been brung that out. Pacific coastline by boat and the following kelp forest settling before the ice-free open corridor opened. So here goes the genetic and linguistic evidence. Here you go. Modern Native American populations share genetic markers with Northeast Asian peoples, American Negro, with your slow self. Instead of being trolling, you need to write some of this down. So when they do try to recruit you, which is probably Omar Muhammad. How you Omar Muhammad, but you want to be an Israelite? You confused, sir. The same with open to knowledge. He up here telling me he an American Indian OSPI. OTK, let me tell you something, sir. In that OSPI book, they don't deal with you. They got you below them, sir. I'm going to deal with you tomorrow on my channel. You, A1, Humble Mystic, all you guys are going to get it. And the topic for me and Humble Mystic, he said that there's no return sacrifices that ever happened in ancient Kemet. And if you don't know that, man, I don't even know why you even try to even challenge me. Anyway, look, I got to get my ops, and I got to give them a little shout out, make them feel important. They just like their name next to mine as a famous loser. You hear what I'm saying, man? Come on. And stay tuned tomorrow. Like I say, we got a spotlight debate between Queen Natalie, FOPE champion against another champion, the Lions Den Intercontinental Champion, Zion Warchild. I will stream it over here. It'll be live here. I'll stream it to JJ7K TV because I want to take the act on the road. You know what I'm saying? There will be no judges. It'll just be like an exhibition. That way ain't nobody getting mad and go home, butter. You know what I'm saying? So look, the peoplings of the Americas, right? Because according to Kakazai, He said that the Bering Land Bridge has been debunked, but he never brought out any information ever. American Negro, with your slow self. Look at this guy, American Negro. He up here going with this 12 tribe chart. I mean, it's probably Omar Muhammad. It's probably him, one of his troll pages. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. And then when DMG get back, we're gonna show this video and get up out of here, man. But I gotta keep reading this, because I don't like downtime. You know what I mean? So the migration across the Bering Sea led to the spread of human populations through North and South America. The development of diverse cultures, language, and adaptations from Arctic hunting societies to Amazonian agriculturalists. Now look at this. Amazonian, so you got in the Amazon, that's supposed to be your Ishikar people, and the Aztecs and the Incas and the Mayans. See? Extinction of megafauna, human arrival conceded with the Pleistocene megafaunal extinction, although climate change also contributes to the disappearance of mammals and large animals. So like I said, I brought this part of the information because if you go look at, I sat there and watched that thing for about an hour and a half. I couldn't watch it no more. You have Katazai up here lying on scripture, trying to make Gad placed here in America, and I've already showed you it just don't connect. And I guarantee you, they're not going to make any video to try to refute it. They're going to move on with another lie to keep y'all distracted from challenging their number one talking point when they're on the corners and screaming at you. See? As Bering Strait is submerged under the Bering Strait, underwater archaeology seeks evidence of early settlements along the ancient coastlines. Now, the indigenous perspective, many Native Americans or history describe origins within where? The Americas. They ain't talking about we come from the Levant. None of that. Emphasizing the migration theory should incorporate indigenous knowledge alongside scientific evidence. So the conclusion is the Bering Strait crossing remains one of the most significant events in human history, marking the arrival of the first peoples of the Americas. Ongoing research continue to refine our understanding and when, how, and why these early migrations occurred, illuminating the deep history of these continents. Oh, I got more for you until my brother get back up here. I got some more for you to blow your wig back. Let me see. All right, was this more? Okay. Direct genetic evidence of founding population reveals story of the first Native Americans. Remember, I got to deal with the Native Americans Gad first, because that's the biggest peopling group that they have, where there's 574 different tribes that they claim that they're all Israelites. So direct genetic traces of the earliest Native Americans have been identified for the first time in a new study. See, I can show you the article. Hey, this is one of the sources, like the whole article. You see what I'm saying? The DMG, where you at, man? Let me see. Is he back yet? Okay, I keep going. Y'all. That's all right. That's okay. Let me see. Where we at? Let's get back to it. Hold up. All right. I'm gonna make it do what it do. All right. So let's keep going. Which this is something that they would never, like I say, address. This deals with the bulk of your. I already did with the Taino, so we already know that Katazai, if he calls himself a Taino, he don't have nothing to do with the 12 tribes of Israel. You see what I'm saying? Nothing. They did that 501c3, so they got to let people like him in. That's all it is, y'all. And look at this. So the direct genetic traces of the earliest Native Americans have been identified for the first time in a new study. The genetic evidence suggests that the people may have entered the continent in a single migrationary way, perhaps arriving around 20,000 years ago. Man, Israel ain't that long. The data, which came from an archaeological finding in Alaska, also points to the existence of previously unknown Native American population. I'm bringing you an unknown Native American populations. You see what I'm saying? That's what I say. This episode of goddamn Paradigm Shift and the Lions Den is brought to you by Common Sense. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Now let's keep going. See, I'm bringing you unknown Native American population. Y'all got to update your information, man. I don't know why y'all coming in front of us with this nonsense. Now you see why I'm the number one goddamn enemy to these guys. You see? Whose academics have named ancient Beringians. See, I'm bringing you some ancient Beringians, y'all. See, the findings are being published in the journal Nature and present possible answers to a series of long-standing questions about how Americans were first populated. See what I'm saying, man? They got nothing to do with no damn one of Joseph. Was it Joseph? Jacob's kid? They ain't got nothing to do with no one of his kids that coming over here and populate. They ain't talking about no Americans. They went through the Euphrates River and sailed for a whole year. Came over here. They said, "Get off the boat. It's your car. Y'all get off here and make cold." That sounds dumber than a box of rocks. So it's widely accepted that the early settlers crossed from what is now Russia into Alaska via an ancient land bridge spanning the Bering Strait, which was submerged at the end of the last ice age. Issues such as whether there's one founding group or several when they arrived and what happened next are subject to extensive debate. However, in the new study, an international team of researchers led by the academics from the universities of Cambridge. I'm bringing to Cambridge, Harvard. When have you ever seen Captain 10K bring any? The only school he gonna bring is the school of ISUPK. That's it. And that's where he get his information from. Remember, these are the idiots that talking about that some of their leaders was reincarnated. Some of them was David and the rest of them, man. They pseudo. We gonna have slaves in the kingdom. Where that's at? Huh? Only salvation for us. Where that's at? Just making stuff up. So the universities of Cambridge, Copenhagen sequenced the full genome of an infant, a girl named Zastikana Titi, or Sunrise Child Girl, by the local Native community, whose remains were found at the Upward Sun River archaeological site in Alaska in 2013. To their surprise, they found that although the child had lived around 11,500 years ago, long after people first arrived in the region, her genetic information did not match either of the two recognized branches of early Native Americans. And see, when you look at the early branches of early Native Americans, you won't see them over in the Levant. This is how easy it is to beat these dudes. And y'all want to get in front of us and say that all these people, the 574 recognized Native American tribes is Gad and Reuben is the Seminole Indians, Ashers, they the Colombians and Uruguay, and Issachar is the Mexicans, Aztecs and Incas, and Italy is Argentina and Chile. And then you dumbasses talking about you hate, excuse me for cussing, you dumb butt up here talking about you hate Africa, but then you got Haitians as Levites, and we already know their genetic makeup come from Africa. Make that make sense. Captain 10K, when you gonna do a response on this? You don't even have to respond. I already beat you up over here. 10-0. I'm glad DMG finally said it again in front of everybody. So you can't even ever say, I didn't beat all you. I didn't beat Cesaro 3 times. I didn't beat you. I didn't beat Katazar by default because he was too scared to come defend this nonsense because he know he was gonna get some of this information. You putting out misinformation. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. So JJ 7000, Mandinka Mali is not that one is going to bow down to your nonsense and your lies. So further analysis have then revealed that the ancient Beringians were an offshoot of the same ancestor population as the northern and southern Native American groups, y'all. You see? Let me go. That's right. I mean, are you serious? No, that's wrong. Let's keep going. But they separated from that population earlier this year. I wish this dude, I was praying this dude would be brave enough to get up here with his nonsense. But you know why he's not going to come up here? You know why? Because he can't control the buttons. And he remembered the last 10-0, the last butt whooping I put on him. Man, shit. This was an educational butt whooping. We didn't forget. Now you can go on. Now you want to go on and try to change history, but it's already outlined and documented. DMG said he even did a whole show about how you got beat up. You see that? All your St. Louis friends probably was mad at you. You didn't sit up there and let JJ beat you up like that. You could at least got one vote. You should have called him in. That's what I would have did. This timeline allows the researchers to construct a picture on how to and when the continent might have been settled by a common founding population of ancestral Native Americans that gradually divided into these different subgroupings. See, he don't deal with science. They don't deal with no science over there. How they the home of the truth? The study was led by Professor. Now I'm bringing professors to the table, y'all. From Copenhagen and Cambridge. And what he bringing? We're bringing a professor from the Israeli School of Practical Knowledge and Information. They got their degree and got them praising somewhere. Hear me? Them degrees don't hold weight when you get in the real world, sir. Trust me. Now look at this. The study was led by Professor Eski Wilsberg, who holds positions both in St. John's College, University of Cambridge, and the University of Copenhagen in Denmark. The ancient Bering genes diversified from the other Native Americans before any ancient or living Native American population sequenced to date. It's basically a relic population of an ancestors group which was common to all Native Americans. So the sequence genetic data gave an enormous potential in terms of answering questions relating to early peoples of the Americas. See, this ain't got nothing to do with no Levant. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They got their own Arabic language and all that. How they got their own language family? I got a whole list of all their language families, which I didn't have time to bring up today. But this would be like a 3-4 part thing to really get the information out there and have it documented. You see what I'm saying? I ain't really throwing no ad homs. So I don't want to hear it. But when they come on, they're gonna be. It's just their scholarship is ad homs and putting people down. And if you ain't in school with them, then you don't have the truth. That's a code. Anytime you got to ask a grown man to get permission to debate me, you're not your own man. You're not. And then, like he said, y'all passing wives around. The people I've already brought the original people that was there before you cats. And then I even got a video of one of the 7 founding fathers of this movement. We already interviewed him on the Lions Den. I mean, what are we doing, man? So let's keep going, man, till DMG get back. So it's the first time that we have a direct genomic evidence that all Native Americans can be traced back to one source population via a single founding migration event. You in some goddamn trouble. Captain Tinker, I know this is above your grade level, man, but I want you to, the little pea brain of yours, I want you to probably take out the ABCs and make a little bit more room for some other data. You should be able to figure that out by now. I know you should. Come on, man. The study compared data from the Upward Sun River remains with both ancient genomes and those of numerous present-day populations. See, this allowed the research to establish Omar Muhammad. I know you peeking around in the bush. I want you to pay attention. So he want to be an ISUPK trooper. He want to be an under trooper. See, they ain't even made you a trooper yet. You ain't even smart enough to be a trooper. To go get the coffee and all that, and go down there to the White Castle and get you a couple about 50 of them burgers. You below the troopers. You want to get up on the stage yesterday and try to talk about me, bro. Your scholarship is trash. You just a flunky, a follower. You'll never get in the ring with me because you have no scholarship. Your name is Omar Muhammad, but you want to be a Yahweh. You want to be an Israelite. Now, how that makes sense, bro? This allowed the researchers to first establish that an ancient Bering gene group was more closely related to early Native Americans. Now, we all know that the Bering gene groups, they're attached to where? Siberia and Asia. So this just debunked your whole chart. I'm bringing you scientific information while you bringing your lip. And then, like I say, the guy said, come on, Pops, you know that ain't right. That's the catch. He told that's the catch. That's the hook to reel you in so you can pay tithes. They would just been better off say, we're a church, we welcome everybody. This is how we believe things and being more honest with the people. You got brainwashing these people. You don't see nobody over in Mexico besides these ones that have been connected to these One West chart. They ain't even over there. You don't see the MS-13s and the rest of the Mexicans out here talking about they have their own rich culture and history. So stop doing this cultural appropriation and adding stuff and taking us away to fit your agenda. I dare you to come up here. Huh? You won't. He gonna tell me, I gotta create my own 12 tribes chart to replace theirs. No, I don't, because there's nowhere in the Bible saying that you're supposed to have a chart. These people went everywhere. Man, come on, bro. So once again, to establish that the ancient Bering gene group was more closely related to early Native Americans than their Asian and Eurasian ancestors. And then to determine the precise nature of the relationship and how over time they split into distinct populations. This ain't got nothing to do with no Levant. This ain't got nothing to do with no Middle East. You up here lying. This is why they don't want to deal with me. I promise you. I ain't even got to deal. I can just do shows like this and beat them up. They ain't even in they're the researchers. And if Kakaza is your main researcher, y'all really in some trouble. The existence of two separate northern and southern branches of early Native Americans have divided academic opinion regarding how the continent was populated. Researchers have disagreed over whether these two branches split like humans entered Alaska or whether they represent separate migrations. The Upward Southern River genome shows that ancient Barrengenes were isolated from the common ancestral Native American population, both before the northern and southern divide. They ain't never heard no information like that. They listen to Katazai. He probably got about like an 8th grade education, man. I mean, come on, bro. You ain't never seen Katazai do a day of work in his life. He ain't even one of them. He calling us NIGGAS is more than the black man call himself that. Who sent you in? You look like a Harry Rosenberg. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Y'all look just alike. So is Harry Rosenberg from the tribe of Ephraim? Make it make sense. Both before the northern and southern divide and after the ancestral source population was itself isolated from other groups in Asia. Afro-Negro, I hope you're paying attention with your slow self. Yeah, I know you want my attention. You got it. So after this, you can get up here and you can come up here like a man, or you can stay in the Addison troll, you know, like a little cheerleader with your pom-poms and heels on. Shake them. That's what you do. With all subdivisions taking place thereafter. So according to the researchers' time, I know you're still here listening, so I know you're listening and learning. I know it hurt your feelings that the truth coming out. They didn't brainwash you over the years. I know that. I know it is. That's one of the IHPK troll pages. That's all it is, y'all. Now, according to the researchers' timeline, the ancestral population first emerged as a separate group around 36,000 years ago, probably somewhere in Northeast Asia. See, I'm showing you where these people come from, man. They want y'all to believe that they come from out of goddamn the Middle East. I mean, is this some kind of comedy joke? Like, is Reggie gonna jump out the closet and talk about you've been punked, him and Ashton Kutcher? What the hell's going on? Constant contact with Asian population continued to around 25,000 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. When the gene flow between the two groups ceased, the cessation was probably caused by brutal changes in the climate, which isolated the Native American ancestors. See? It therefore probably indicates the point in when people first started moving into Alaska. This is what Willisburg said. This is one of my scholars. See? So they ain't gonna bring you nothing. You know? They talking about a dream somebody had. You hear me? Talking about the world going in and in the year 2000 had all the people quitting their job. And we ain't gonna talk about how they say this is the order. It goes according to ISUPK, it's excuse me, the Creator, Christ, and then guess who's third in line? Johanna. I guess he's the Holy Spirit. But before that, they had somebody else called the Comforter. Had these guys out there drinking his man milk, y'all. You hear me? Had these guys drinking his man milk, if y'all know what I'm talking about. This type of buffoonery and this, I mean, come on, bro. That's demonic. Had these dudes drinking his man milk. If y'all don't know what man milk is, you better figure it out. They did a whole class on dinglings. Israelite dinglings. I'm waiting for DMG to come back so I can show the 3-minute clip. Who does a whole class? Your captain, your general, did a whole class on Israelite dinglings, y'all. And would proudly profess that there's no dingling better than all these other. He named Judah, Benjamin. He said ain't nothing better than Levi. He said ain't nothing better than Ephraim. And when he said Ephraim, Captain Zara was pointing at Captain Zara dingling. It's on tape. We're not gonna play that. Go look at it on Vocab Malone channel. He's the one that came up with the video. Caught him in there teaching about this madness. What if you would have came to the class today with your family, your kids? You know how they go, come to class, you learn. All right, man. Shoot, y'all sound pretty good. Then you bring your kids in there and your woman, and they talking about dinglings. Are you serious? Come on. Then I'm gonna bring up Swarthy up here. They didn't trick him into give him a couple $1,000, cheated him out of money. There's all kind of wicked stuff going on in these damn camps. You know, you starting off as a trooper. They want to give you bomb sucker, waka, all these old weird names that ain't even real Hebrew. It is a cult, Captain 10K, and you know it. That's why you ain't gonna come up here. Ancient Barrengenes themselves then separate from the ancestral group earlier than either the northern or southern branches around 20,000 years ago. Genetic contact continued with their Native American cousins, however, at least until the Upper Sun River girl was born in Alaska around 8,500 years ago. We're just waiting for DMG to come back. I really would like to show this on the screen. But like I say, hey, stay tuned for Mandinka Mali Mondays, which I'll be here tomorrow. We'll be doing the spotlight debate. And if they can't come up and figure out a date, we will postpone that. And then I'm going to go in on some of the information that's been, regurgitated through the community about the ancient Kemetics didn't believe that these deities were actually real. They just established a principle. So then I'm going to have to go into the Book of the Dead. I'm going to go into these retainer sacrifices and some of their prayers, some of these spells, and it's going to bust their head. That's why Jabari ran for this debate. He already got beat up in the Lions Den on this debate. I got the footage. He said, well, we could do this on certain other TV. And it ain't happened yet because he's running. Then I got the other elders coming on, Patah Asar, who won't smoke with Jabari. Jabari don't want to, he know who he is. Just like when I brought Tahuti to the scene to beat up on Jabari. And Commission. See, I always use the Kemetic against the Kemetic. Let's keep going. The geographical proximity required for ongoing contact of this sort led to the researchers to conclude that the initial then Captain 10K, listen with your little pea brain. Now listen to this. Now, you know what? I ain't gonna say you got a pea. I ain't gonna talk about the small brain like that, man. I mean, I ain't gonna do you like that. But the initial migration into the Americas were probably already taking place when the ancient Beringians broke away from the main ancestral line. Jose Victor Morano Maraya from the University of Copenhagen says, look, I'm bringing you the top guys from the top colleges, y'all. It looks as though the ancient Beringian population was up there in Alaska from 20,000 years ago to 11,000, 5,000 years ago. But they were already distinct from the wider Native American. Finally, the researchers established that the northern and southern Native American branches only split between 17,000 to 14,000. These people been around. Based on wider evidence, indicates that they must have already been on the American continent south of the glacial ice. The divide probably occurred, after their ancestors had passed through or around the Laurentide and Cordilleran ice sheets. They don't know about this. The two vast glaciers, which is now Canada and parts of the northern United States, but began to thaw out around this time. You see what I'm saying? And the continued existence of the ice sheet across the north of the continent would have isolated the southbound travelers from the ancient Beringians in Alaska, who were eventually replaced or observed by Native American populations. Other modern populations in both Alaska and northern Canada belong to the Northern American branch. The analysis shows that they derived from the later back migration north, long after the initial migration events. So one significant aspect of the research is that some people have claimed the presence of humans in the Americas dates back earlier to 30,000 to 40,000 years or even more. This is what Willerslev added. We cannot prove that those claims are not true, but what we are saying is that if they are correct, they could possibly have been a direct ancestor to contemporary Native Americans. The reference is Terminal Pleasantine Alaskan Genome reveals first founding population, Native Americans. That's in Nature, January 3rd, 2018. And that's by E. Willerslev and others. When you got E.T. and A.L., that means others. DMG, you back yet, man? Let me see. I can keep going. All right. I guess we're going to keep going, man. What else I got up here? Let me see. I'm planning on going this long. I got the National Library of Medicine. This is genetic variation in population structure in Native Americans. See, my main goal was to attack their biggest tribe first, and then because that's the main ones. They have 572 Native American tribes. They're saying that they are all Gad. I mean, come on, man. But let me get back into it, I guess. DMG, where you at, bro? I'm getting time ready to kind of shut it down, but I don't want to leave the panel empty. So let me see what else I had lined up. I wasn't planning on going this long. I can go to the language families. Let's get into that. Hold up. Let's see. Hold up, yeah. Okay. All right, but here goes some questions that need to be raised and answered by some of you guys. Let me get into a little bit of some of the questions that I have for you guys. I thought you would come up here. So if the Native Americans are the tribe of Gad, Why do genetic tests consistently show their ancestry is 100% from Northeast Asia with haplogroups like Q and C, and 0% is from the Middle East? See what they will. Oh, science is the white man's lie. This is genetic markers are like a family name passed down through generations, sir. Native Americans have the family name of their Siberian ancestors. Look at that, y'all. They have the family name of their Siberian ancestors. I'm telling you, they don't want to smoke with me, man. The Middle Eastern family name, like haplogroup J, is completely absent from the pre-Columbian DNA. It's not a matter of interpretation. It's a matter of biological fact. Okay? Let me hit you with this one. Question number 2. If the Haitians are of the tribe of Levi, when you see your ISUBK friends and they try to talk to you, write some of these questions down and hit them with them, and I guarantee they won't have an answer. If the Haitians are of the tribe of Levi, why does their DNA show that they are 95% West Central Africans? Now, I'm going to give you the groups they're from like the Fan, American Negro. Write this down with your slow self. They're from Fan, the Congo, and the Yoruba, with the rest being European and trace. With the rest being European and trace indigenous. This isn't about skin color. The genetic markers are specific to regions. Haitian DNA points directly to Benin, Nigeria, and Angola. How you gonna get around that? And y'all hate Africa, which perfectly matches the French slave trade shipping records. You see, it doesn't point to the Levant. The science confirmed that historical records of the slave trade, not an ancient Israelite migration. Well, you're in some goddamn trouble. What? If the curse of Deuteronomy 28, here go another question, changed physical appearance and DNA, why didn't it change the DNA of the Limba or the Jews who were persecuted over in Africa? The idea that God changed DNA is an extra biblical claim made up to explain away inconvenient scientific facts. Let me get some more questions. Why is there no Middle Eastern DNA found in any of the thousands of ancient pre-Columbian skeletons unearthed in America, Captain 10K? Your new name is Captain 01K, 01K. He the captain of 10,000. I ain't even got 10,000 people in your goddamn group. Don't let them lie with these false inflated numbers. They ain't that big. Then you sat there and got beat up. You got ran off the block by Israelite Nine in Christ. We got that on tape. Hey, they let you get jumped, Captain 10K. Where was the dude that sit next to you on the show? He ran for the goddamn hills. You hear me? They sat there and beat you up and they made you look bad. See, y'all ain't even organized like the dudes in purple. If I was going to deal with it, I'd rather be with them cats. Not that I would join, but at least they was more militarized and they ran y'all off the goddamn block. It's a shame that y'all couldn't have just been on the same block and taught together. Y'all will both want to get up there and try to preach. Both of you lying. Yeah, Captain 10K got beat up, y'all. And the rest of the team left him to get jumped. I mean, what happened that day, Captain 10K? We need to talk about that. They didn't sit there and beat you up like that, man. He had all kind of bumps and bruises on his head. Talking about the home of the true, no cowards. The rest of the team left me to get beat up. I'm going to show that. Captain 10K came out with all kinds of lumps and bruises, looking like goddamn George Foreman after he got a fight with Holyfield, man. It was bad. But anyway, you know, this isn't about modern admixture with your silly stuff. We are talking about ancient remains that predate Columbus by thousands of years. See, they provide a pure look at the continent's original population. Every single one of his has confirmed that Northeast Asian origin. Not one is shown in modern Eastern links. You go in some trouble when you have to deal with that question. Let me say the question again, so you just in case you forget, like you know, now you're Helen Keller, blind, mute, and deaf. You see, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and blind Melangela. Now you're Helen Keller. You can't hear or see. You can't talk. You don't need to talk. See, so. There is no Middle Eastern DNA found in any of these thousands of ancient pre-Columbian skeletons unearthed in America. Now, you're going to deal with that. Let's keep going. Here goes another question. What specific peer-reviewed genetic study can you cite, Captain 10K, Cesario, Johanna, that demonstrates a link between any of the groups on your chart and a Middle Eastern population. See? Scientific consensus is it built on peer-reviewed research published in credible journals like Nature, Science, or the American Journal of Human Genetics. No such study exists to support your chart because the data says the opposite. Is Captain TK and honest, y'all? I think he might be up on the troll page. If you see somebody really trolling me, that's one of them guys. You know, they ain't gonna be able to face me, you know. So let's keep going. Let's call DMG here in a minute. So I didn't want to really go this long because I wanted to kind of, you know, break it in 2-hour type of increments of this. This will be like a 5, probably 6-part series. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna deal with some other guys on another time. But okay, so how do you account for the overwhelming genetic similarity between Black Americans and their relatives in Nigeria, Ghana, and Sierra Leone? Family tree DNA services prove this every day. People are finding their direct cousins in West Africa, not in Israel. Genetic trail leads directly back to the slave ports of Africa, confirming their historical record. So if West African, so here you go. If West African nations are not part, some of them, not all of them, are not part of it, because he told me that, you know, if West African nations are not part of the 12 tribes, why do they share the exact same paternal and maternal haplogroups as Black people share on the chart? That's Judah. You see what I'm saying? At least you got one right, maybe. You know, because I can, like I say, I can show you, you know, these subgroups that claim to be Hebrew. So I'm not leaving that out. Anybody want to challenge that? Like you know, get up here and challenge me. This is why I retired, because you guys, you run your mouth when you got the buttons, whistles and bells, but when you got a clock out, you know you got to deal with the information. They ain't for the fool with me. Your chart creates an artificial division where known exist genetically. There is no significant difference between a Yoruba man in Nigeria and a Black man in America whose ancestors came from there. You're claiming one is right and the other is not, even though their DNA is clearly identical. This is how you know your logic is flawed. Anybody see this guy in the audience? Your Shabbat was yesterday, unless you went to church. So we ain't trying to, well, I could come on because today was the Shabbat. Mm-hmm. Let's keep going, y'all. I got more questions. Since you know, and then let me see. Let's keep going. Let me see. All right, let's keep going. Now, they want to use this. Why have the most famous proofs of an Israelite present in America, the Bat Creek Stone, the Los Lunas Decalogue Stone, have been definitively debunked by secular and religious experts as modern forgery? How you gonna answer that? See, these aren't debated; they are dismissed. The Bat Creek Stone was a copy from the 19th century Masonic book. The Los Lunas Stone has a modern punctuation and non-patina, relying, on the known hoaxes as the foundation of your belief. So it has little or actual evidence to prove your case. Somebody please call these guys. Say, JJ over here beating you up. You better get in here. Now let's go to the tribe of Gad. Since you want to run your lip. Okay, here you go. If the tribe of Gad lived in the Americas for centuries, where are the cities? Where are the temples? Where are the Hebrew inscriptions? Where the pottery or ritual baths, the mikvahs? You don't know about the ritual baths. I'm going to spell it for you. MIKVEHS. Archaeologists have found none. See, man, come on, bro. This is just getting bad, man. I mean, you know, they have no answers, ladies and gentlemen. We have existence of archaeological records of the Hopewell Mississippians and other pre-Columbian cultures that left behind mounds, tools, and art. Well, where y'all stuff at? See? An entire tribe would have left a massive archaeological footprint. But they don't. Let's keep going. I'm about to call DMG. Sorry, you know. It's crazy weather out here. One day is 80 degrees, then it dropped down 20, 30 degrees. Now it's 60-something degrees, then it get back up to 83. Colorado has that bipolar weather. So why do tools, pottery, and architects of pre-Columbian America show a clear evolution of Asian, look at this, y'all, of Asian Paleolithic traditions with no influence from the Middle Eastern Bronze or Iron Age technology. Huh? These are questions that make you think, make you reevaluate this lie. You see? Put it on the fire and make it die. You see, this what I just read demonstrates an independent indigenous development. There's no sudden appearance of Middle Eastern metallurgy, construction techniques, or writing. The evidence points to an isolation from the old world, no contact with it. Oh, y'all some damn trouble. Let's keep going. I mean, these are just questions. I'm only on question 14. I got about 40, 50 questions for you. I was waiting for you to come up here. But as you can see, they are cowards because they don't have control of the buttons, the whistles, the bells, to put you in the mute and overtalk you and throw you off and claim a victory. Well, with DMG, if I already came up here and confirmed the 10-0 butt whooping that I'm going to clip it too. So you ever lie on me, just take the L like a man and move on. I'm not saying I won every debate. That don't take away from what I do. You're not going to win in everybody's approval. You see? You know, you're not going to, I mean, if you was a debater, you can't take an L, then bro, come on, you got to make room to learn. You got to do better next time with connecting with the audience, even if you feel that you were right. Now, I felt that, you know, I beat DMG, but the audience over there said he won. I got to accept that. Next time I got to figure out a better way to present my information to reach more people. That's just what it is. Why are there no pre-Columbian remains of old world animals like horses, cattle, sheep, or chickens, which were central to the Israelite economy and sacrificial system? Huh, Captain 10K? Excuse me, Captain 01K? These animals were integral into the Israelite life, ladies and gentlemen. Their absence at Katazai, you sat there and lied, and I can't believe they had you teaching this, and they all were listening to you. Their absence in the archaeological records and other definitive proofs that Israelites were not there. The ecosystems of the Americas was completely separate until 1492. Excuse me. Okay. Why are there no remains of New World crops like corn, maize, tomatoes, or potatoes found in ancient Israel? Contact is two-way street. If Israel were sailing back and forth, as your chart implies, the Columbia Exchange would have happened 25,000 years ago. The botanical evidence proves it did not. We're in DMG, man. This is becoming a bloodbath, man. You know, I'm up here boxing, but I need you to get in the ring, bro. Right now, this is ain't fair to y'all. We need anybody who wants to defend this Omar Muhammad with your dumb ass. You don't even have no information. How you Omar Muhammad? You trying to be a trooper. You're 54 years old, 50, but probably 58. You look like you're about 58, and you want to be a trooper. You want to start all over as a trooper and have some that 21-year-old you to go get them some milk and cookies, or go get the yak. You know, they be having that big bottle of yak up on the stage. They be getting drunker than goddamn two fish. They be getting drunk up there, and they want to point the finger at everybody else. Well, you can't smoke weed. I mean, y'all hypocritical. You know, talking about you can't wear jeans, and I told you that jeans didn't come out to the 19th century. It ain't got nothing to do with it. You can't wear men's clothing. They got women jeans, they got men jeans. It's about the cut and style. That goes with the tunics, they go with the robes, they go with the headgear. That's what they're talking about, Captain Zaryak. What's wrong with you? Out here yelling at folks and women and black women and telling them that they wearing men's clothing and the jeans that come out to the 19th century, y'all. I mean, come on, man, what are we doing? Like I said, I can't see the audience, but if anybody up there running their lip, hey, get up here. Because fighting in the chat, you're not gonna prove your point. All this information I've been brought out today, all this information that the camp killers, JT Raw and Malachi Baby Hebrew and indigenous have brought out. I mean, y'all got an uphill battle to fight against us on anything on this topic. I'm telling you. Let's keep going. to he come back. So then, now we're going to do the Newark Holy Stones using 19th century style of block Hebrew script instead of the Paleo Hebrew that would have been used in that ancient time. That's how they got caught. See, this is a fatal anachronism. The carver used the alphabet he knew from modern books, not the script of the ancient world. See, it's like finding a Roman coin with a website address on it to prove. It's like a modern coin, a Roman coin with a website address on it, y'all. It proves it's a modern fake. Okay, Katazai, remember you talking about the Bat Creek Stone in your little 12 tribes breakdown? Why has Captain 10K go send this to Katazai? Tell him, because you ain't even qualified to even put up a fight, and neither is he, but he might put up a little bit better fight than what you is, because he's your leader. He's your leader. He's second next to goddamn Tazariak when it comes to the captainship. You see? Why was the Bat Creek Stone inscription published upside down for nearly a century and only identified as Hebrew after it was flipped and compared to the 19th century book? Huh? What's your answer for that? I'll give you mine. The original archaeologists from the Smithsonian didn't even recognize this Hebrew because it was so poorly carved and in a burial context that had nothing to do with it. It wasn't until modern theorists flipped it and claimed it was made, revealing it was a clumsy copy. I'm gonna give you the answer. I would like to hear what you got to say about it. Here we go. Let's keep going. So hopefully the DMG will come back soon so I can end this. But I got to keep it going. We don't want to have no dead air. All right. So question: Where is just one single undisputed pre-Columbian Hebrew artifact? What? That's why I laugh at these guys, man. Y'all misleading people. That's why JJ 7000 is the most spirited debater on this planet. Sit your ass down, because I know you can't stand it. You hear me? Let's keep going. Now, there's not one single undisputed pre-Columbian Hebrew artifact that's been authenticated by mainstream archaeologists. Can you name me one, Captain 10K? Maybe put it in the chat. Put it under your troll name, because I know you're peeking around. You and your little funky Master Clarkenbach, whatever his name is. They had him out there passing out in Atlanta somewhere, some goddamn bent up canned goods. He think he doing something. The nigga can't even. I know you can't read a tape measure, but that's why they got you passing out canned goods, bro. All that trolling you did about me, I'm doing a nice troll. You know, I put a blueprint in front of you. You think it's Chinese, wouldn't you, sir? I know you can't read blueprints. I know you can't write. Y'all need to be teaching them people how to build with their hands and not tearing down people with their mouth. You see? But you can't. You got to protect your code. Since there isn't one single undisputed pre-Columbian Hebrew artifact that has been authenticated by mainstream archaeologists. A claim of this magnitude requires extraordinary evidence. What is offered instead is a complete lack of evidence. This is what y'all bringing to the table. Explained away by conspiracies and the reliance on known frauds. Man, somebody better call the ambulance. Somebody better call the police, because this is a beatdown. Now look. Now look. The Bible places the tribe of Gad. Remember, this is the biggest one. They have 574 tribes in Native Americans, right? But the Bible places the tribe of Gad in Gilead, east of the Jordan River. Like I said earlier, modern day Jordan. So how in the hell did they get from Jordan? In the hell did they get from Jordan to America? And why is there no record of this epic journey? We waiting for the answer. All these questions y'all gonna have to rebuttal, but they won't, y'all. Cesar, he gonna go around and try to debate Christians, and come on. Cesar don't want to deal with this. He pointed me to Cesar. Cesar signed up for the debate on Sarnetta TV, and what he do? They messed my name up. I'm not debating him. That's what they do. Like Garfield ran for the debate. You see, this is what these guys do. I don't like taking victories by default, but it adds on to the record. I want to get in the ring where it's documented. See, The Bible is a very specific. They go for you too, Ron Shields. You signed up for the debate against me and Black Jesus Minister. I guess it was you and Don Pro as a one. You didn't show up and let Pro down in the ring by herself to get beat up. So you even said, well, you got a default victory over me. No, I want a real debate against you, Ron Shields. You said that demons was just a figment of our imagination. And that the Bible really didn't teach that. So you're going to have to deal with that next time I just got in his inbox a couple of weeks ago. Like I say, Ron, I would really like to continue this discussion or debate in 2026. You see what I'm saying? So the Bible is very specific. The Bible is very specific about gas location, ladies and gentlemen. To get to America, they would have to cross Asia or Africa and then an ocean. A journey that of that magnitude would have been the singer's greatest story in the Bible. Yet there's complete silence. There is an argument from silence that you cannot overcome, sir. Let's keep going. We're never finna deal with the Assyrians and Babylonian exiles, y'all, that are documented historical events. The deported Israelites were removed from other parts of Assyria and Babylonian empires in the Middle East. Why do you ignore this as an event or transatlantic voyage? Huh? We're waiting for the answer. But here's what I'm going to say. The historical records of the Assyrians and the Bible itself in 2 Kings tell us where the Israelites went. You know where they went, y'all? They went east. Halah, Habar, the river of Gozan, and the cities of the Medes. I said this in my debate with Jeremiah, please say yeah. I've already done this. I've mentioned this information. I'm going to show y'all that to remind you. These are all known locations in the Middle East. Modern Iraq, Syria, and Iran. Why do you think Iran don't want to go? We ain't killing the blacks. Y'all see that? They like us. We they people. There is no mention of them being scattered to the four corners in the way you mean. Let's go. Let's deal with Levi. And they ain't got the Haitians on the goddamn list. And they hate Africa, y'all. Now make that make sense. They hate the homie. They hate Congo. They hate that. But they got them on there because they don't know that where these people really come from. So the tribe of Levi was sent to Haiti, right? According to them. How do you explain the well-documented history of the French kidnapping nearly 1 million people from the African kingdoms of Dahomey and Congo to work on sugar plantations there? See? What you're doing, you are erasing the real documented history of the Haitian people and replacing it for your fiction. I told you I was going to beat up on your chart. Didn't I tell you I should have dealt with this years ago? Because I keep gathering more and more information to make you look like some pseudos that you are. See? We have the shipping manifest, the bill of sale, the plantation records. We know their names, their ages, and where in Africa they came from. Their history is one of the resistance against slavery, not of a lost Israelite tribe. Somebody better tell DMG to get up here, man, because they ain't gonna be able to come from the camera no more. They not. Okay, let's keep going. All right. So the history of Jews in San Tome is also well known. All right. It was 2,000 Jews, Israelite children exiled by the king of Portugal in 1493. Not the tribe of Judah, exiled by Nebuchadnezzar 2,000 years earlier. Why does the chart confuse these two comparatively separate events? Well, y'all some goddamn. See, this is easy. This is a massive historical error that proves that the chart creators were not careful with history, mixing up the 15th century Portuguese monarchy with the 6th century BCE Babylonian king shows a fundamental lack of knowledge, intelligence, and credibility. You see? But you talk about get the class. Get the class to do what? To learn what? They did a whole class on dinglings. I'm gonna show you something. DMG, please get back up here. I'm gonna show you this 3-minute clip. They Captain Makakagwa, whatever his name is, talking about there is no better penis. This is what he said, y'all, than Judah. There's no better penis than Benjamin. There's no better penis than the Levites and the Ephraimites. And when he said Ephraimites, that was because Cesare thinks that's Caucasian. He pointed right at Caucasian Johnson. It's on tape. But y'all want to call everybody else sissified and effeminate and all that. Y'all doing a whole class full of men talking about Israelite dinglings. Jabari said he went in there, not a single woman in sight. Smelled like feet and goddamn county jail Fritos. Men sweated up all each other. Jabari said he didn't even want to shake their hand. You don't know where their hands been. Now, who decided which tribe maps to which people, and what historical or scriptural authority did they use to make these specific assignments? Let me say that question again. The chart is a 20th century invention. Matter of fact, there is nowhere in the Bible talking about a chart. Nowhere. Am I still on? Is DMG? Oh, DMG let me rock out, I guess. We've been on for 3 hours and 29 minutes, but okay, let me keep going. Okay. So I have to get these questions out of here, you know? This chart is a 20th century invention. Who decided which tribe maps to which people, and which historical or scriptural authority did they use to make these specific assignments? They ain't gonna have no answer for that. There is no ancient source of these specific matchups. They were assigned by the modern founders of these movements. It is an arbitrary list, not a divine revelation. You can't point to any historical text that says the people who will be taken to Haiti are Levites. Come on, man, stop playing with us. I mean, this we shouldn't even be talking about this in 2026, y'all. Why are we doing this? Now, this let me talk to my future self, y'all, real quick. Mandinka, this is JJ back in 2026. I know this is 10 years from now. Are they still lying about this chart? And then when you do the show in 2036, you answer me back here in 2026. All right? I love you. Still looking young. Hey, you're still looking young. Let's keep going. Now, why do pre-colonial Native American religious language and culture show zero influence from ancient Israelite monotheism, culture laws, or Sabbath observances? Captain 01K, I know you don't have an answer for that. Culture is resilient. If Israelites had been in Americas, some traces of the unique legal, religious, or social customs would have survived. Instead, Native American spiritually is entirely distinct. Do you know what the word distinct is, Captain 10K? Now, he over there taking off his shoes and socks. I didn't tell you to count. I said, do you know what the alphabet or how to read the definition of distinct? Showing no connection to Judaism whatsoever. Let's keep going, man. This is embarrassing. Now, the Bible said that the Levites were given 48 cities scattered within the other tribes, territories in Israel. They had no single land of their own. How did this square? So how did this square with them becoming the nation of Haiti? Let me say that again. The Bible says the Levites were given 48 cities scattered within other tribes, territories of Israel. They had no single land of their own. So how do you put them in the nation in Haiti? We waiting. Type it in there on your troll page. See if you can figure it out. You don't play with me. The chart violates the Bible's own description of the tribe of Levi, y'all. Remember, these are Haitians. Remember, they got African people on their tribe, don't even and on their 12 tribes list, don't even know it. Because Kafazai is they ghost rider. Their entire purpose was to be spread among the brethren as priests. The idea of them becoming a separate, consolidated nation on an island contradicts the fundamentals of their biblical role. Yeah, damn, this is a bloodbath. This is a bloodbath. All these questions that I'm asking, when y'all see them, make sure you write them down or clip them and ask them that when they're getting in your face with this nonsense. Or when they're screaming at you on the corner and say, well, JJ, you know, he said this on the show. What you got to say about that? If they ever come up on you in New York, Colorado, or anywhere else in the world with this nonsense. This is a cult. This ain't no different than TD Jakes and them. Creflo Dollar. You heard them earlier said that two NFL players gave them like $10 million, and they ain't put nothing in. They had the people out there working for free. doing construction jobs when JT Raw and Malachi Baby Hebrew was involved. I said, why you left? Getting over it. They had a guy named the goddamn comforter, got him drinking in man milk. Yeah. We're going to get deep into this whole situation of this cult. They did not see me. What about Israelite United in Christ? They didn't cover up that girl's you know what. You can't even talk. Look, they all in purple. They you can't talk to none of them. Like if you're a young Hebrew Israelite guy or somebody, trying to, you don't want to join the cult. They're not gonna let you talk to none of them women. They got them brainwashed. So the idea of them becoming a separate, consolidated nation on an island contradicts their fundamental biblical role. Now, if anybody, I can't see the odds, but if anybody in there running their lip, when DMG come back, be brave enough to come up here and refute anything I say, and you won't see. So, if Black Americans are Judah, the royal tribe, how do you explain that their ancestors came from the same West African ports as the ancestors of Jamaicans, whom they label as Benjamin or Levi? The slave trade was indiscriminate. They're going to put you wherever they want. They go, all right, everybody from Benjamin, get off over here on the island of Jamaica. That don't hide work. That ain't hide work. It didn't sort people by tribes. People from the same village in Africa ended up in Virginia, Jamaica, Brazil. That's why I told this idiot, excuse me. That's why I told Captain 10K, when he told me, well, you got to come up with a chart to replace mine. No, there's nowhere in the Bible to say you got to have a chart. The chart creates artificial tribal divisions that have no basis in the reality of the slave trade. I mean, this is getting bad. Now, remember what they said about the Book of Mormon? I'm going to hit you with that. Yeah, man. Told you, man. I told him. I told no fool with JJ 7000, the most feared debate on this planet. I told him. Now, if you ain't learned nothing from this, then you don't want to learn. The Book of Mormon makes similar claims about Israelites in America and is rejected. Why? So your chart, which has even less narrative and no prophet, to be considered credible. Captain 10K. Go ahead, answer. Put it on your troll page, answer. Huh? And your little flunky from Atlanta passing out goddamn dinning up canned goods. You see? Now, me and you if they put us on the island, that would be your job. While I'm building houses. You see what I'm saying? Driving heavy machinery if we had it on there. You know what I'm saying? Doing sheet metal work. Commercial roofing. You see, y'all, I ain't never seen none of y'all at work besides Captain Tazaria. The rest of y'all don't even know what y'all do. We ain't seen y'all out there building. Wasn't Jesus a carpenter? Why ain't you out there being a carpenter like Jesus? This highlights that your theory is not unique. You got it from the Mormons. It is part of a long tradition of groups trying to connect the Americans to the Bible. From the Mormons to the British Israelites, all have been disproven by the same body of evidence. Man, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Look. I got more for you. Says DMG. I'm going to call DMG here in a second, though. So I don't want to leave the panel. We've been on for almost 4 hours, which is cool. Now, look at this. Let's see. What else we got? Okay. The biblical curse was exile and hardship, not a change of race. Why do you reinterpret it as a racial transformation when the text doesn't support that? This is question 29. I didn't hit him with 29 or 27 questions. I skipped a couple of them. The curse was to be scattered among the nation. It was not a magical event that changed their physical being. You are adding a racial component to the text that simply isn't there in order to make your theory fit. Come on, man. Man, what the hell's going on? Okay. Here we go. What is the origin of voodoo religion in Haiti, if not from the Fan and Yoruba peoples of West Africa? Remember, y'all got them as your what? Let me get a chart out. You said Levi's Haitians. You see what I'm saying? And here come Gorilla Hebrew talking about he a Levi. They want to be the priest. Tsar talking about he a high priest. I mean, what? How are you a high priest and you claim to be Judah? You guys, man, I'm trying to tell you. So the Haitian voodoo contains the names of Lua spirits, which are the exact same deities and spirits worshipped in Benin, in Nigeria, Tazariak, Captain 10K, Kataza, Yahana, and all the rest of y'all that's out here lying to our people. Its origins are clearly and traceably West African, not Israel. This is light work, man. Where does here goes some more questions, y'all? See, I'm hitting them with the 40 clip of questions. Where does the Bible mention a mass migration to America? To land that no man dwelt from 2nd Andrew 40 through 50. They came through the Euphrates. Look what they say. They came through the Euphrates and sailed on the ocean for a whole year. And then when they got there, they told everybody to get off at different locations. Man, shit, I mean, come on. The most important migration in Israel after the action would surely warrant mention. The silence is deafening. See? Okay. DMG, where you at? Okay. If the chart is true, does that mean that African people who were not sold into slavery and who remain in Africa are not God's chosen people? Huh? This is a theological consequence of the chart. It elevates the victims of the slave trade by degrading the Africans who were not. It creates a hierarchy based on suffering that is both illogical and divisive. All right, man. Let me keep going. DMG must have fell asleep, man. You didn't give me the keys to open it up yet. I know you said you was gonna give me, send me my email, but we're gonna do that on the next show. So then I can close it out. So if Native Americans are Gad, why do they speak thousands of distinct languages from completely different language families, Captain 10K? Uto, Aztecian, Suin, with no connection to Hebrew or any Semitic language. Can you get up here and explain that? Huh? Can you get up here and explain that? So the language evolves, but it retains traces of its origin. English and German are different, but their shared ancestry is obvious. There's not a single trace of Hebrew grammar, vocabulary, or structure in any indigenous American language. See, this cancels you out, Cotton's Eye. You're done. You're talking about you Taino. Jose Vega, this cancels you out. Jose Vega said that all the Native Americans make it the whole entire 12 tribes. So they got their own, but they got an American Indian Bible. And that Israel's in Utah. You know how Mike Evans hit? As he tell a joke, he go, this is how he did it. I'm laughing. I'm Mike F them. They are from a completely different linguistic stock. Oh my God. This is a bloodbath, man. This I'm getting bored with this now. There's just so much information. Why do the Haitians speak? That's in Levi's, right? Why do the Haitians speak Haitian Creole, a language based in the 18th century French and West African grammar, and not a form of Hebrew? This is embarrassing for you. I mean, you got 50-year-old dudes got to get permission, and then you got Omar Muhammad. I mean, his dumb ass. He want to be a trooper at age 58. I mean, so some little 30-year-old can go tell him go get some goddamn jerk chicken somewhere and then get up out of his face. The Haitian Creole tells the story of a French colonizer and enslaved West Africans communicating. It contains no elements of Hebrew. See, its history is known, recent. It has nothing to do with the Leviathan. I mean, this is over, man. You see why y'all, ladies and gentlemen, out there in the viewing land, you see why none of these guys will debate this chart. Because, come on, Pops. You know that ain't right. I know, but that's the hook. To reel them in. The chart assigns one tribe, Manasseh, to Cubans. That wasn't on my chart. It was in Cubans. Oh, I didn't put Cubans on here. Okay, I forgot to put them. Okay, so the chart assigns one tribe, Manasseh, to Cubans, right? Now check this out. Cuba is a multiracial nation of European, African, and other ancestries, which Cubans are. So, which Cubans are Manasseh? Like J.T. Ross said, white Cubans, black Cubans. This exposed the absurdity of mapping ancient tribes onto modern multi-ethnic nation states. You ain't ready for this high level type of information. I need to be teaching class. I'm gonna be your new general, Lieutenant General JJ 7000. See, the Lieutenant General is more higher ranking than his regular general. I done beat up all y'all. Y'all gonna learn at the feet of the Lions Den and JJ 7000. You see me? You see me? You hear me? Cuban is a nationality, not a bloodline. Let me say it again. Cuban is a nationality, not a bloodline. The chart logic completely falls apart when faced with the complexity. Oh, this is bad, man. This is bad. Come on, man. The chart logic completely falls apart when faced with the complexity of the modern world. I mean, they did the same, y'all. These grown men running around here lying to the people. They don't know no better. Most of them got their diploma in prison. You see, they go see what they do. They go to the prison and trick these guys into how when Malcolm went to jail, the Nation of Islam came. It was a new truth to them. It felt good. You see what I'm saying? The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Nah, every man can be a deceiver. Remember that. Didn't Christ call Peter a devil? Didn't Christ call the Pharisee, you are the father? You are like your father, the devil? What are we doing? Then you want to be, the African put us in slavery. What? And like I said, I brought this out years ago when the Native Americans had black slaves. Took them with them on the Trail of Tears. Where is that in the biblical prophecy that just so-called Gad would put Judah, the so-called black man, in slavery? Huh? Show us that. Why was this truth hidden for thousands of years and only revealed then? By what authority was it revealed? See, this is a crucial point, ladies and gentlemen. It's not an ancient tradition passed down. It's a modern theory. Its origin is a man in the